why they call my vibe. And the future is now, surrounded by the real South. Yeah, I know what we all about. Getting check, 1, 2. City natives in the building. You know, mic check 1, 2. Alright, let's get it. Yeah. Just play the drums and sample. I hop on the track, know the stage at every province that I'm at in. Don't you dare say my name, I'm probably gonna snap in. Leave your dad pissed like when your mommy's on the rag. I'm a zombie on the beat, walking with a swag. Y'all ain't louder than my team. Yo, we got this in the bag like the bomb is sweet as smoke. I promise it is dope, but if you take a hit, then you're probably gonna choke. Yo, I'm lost and I never pass to get a better blast. So tell beats and beat not that they better match. Nah, I'm drinking your energy and I don't even drink, but watch me get turned like the whole weekend. Drink, got so much knowledge, but I won't teach it. So don't give me your advice, cause I don't need it. Got that money in the bank, I'm about mine. Keep my fam close, it's a cold world outside. I had to get some bad habits that I once had. With the mind of an addict, I'm rapping with a blood set. Smoking till my lungs hurt, high spread real low. Here to stimulate your mind, but I think you know it. Diabolical style, some prodigal child. That's why they call my vibe. And the future is now, surrounded by the real South. Yeah, I know what we all about. Getting money, making these moves, I'm on the right route. Demonstrate, let me demonstrate how I murder it. The crime rate increases, don't let me heard of it. I levitate minds for a living. I'm no magician, no. I take my thoughts to one another level. Never let you cloud with a rebellious style. I say it now, word on me buzz. I'm just an ill child. The enemy is the epitome of realness. I know you feel this. I'm just a boy, please.
When it comes to rapping, I'm a motherfucking mastermind. Pack a mask and knife. Time to put these pussy rappers in the afterlife. I get the spasm when I grab the mic. It's the rapping savage Antichrist. The best rapper alive. The best rapper even after I die. I'm drinking and driving, hanging out in the passenger side. Well, bitches give me ass, I get the crash on my ride. My flow is nutty, I'm cold and hungry, my body is phony, nose is runny. I'm broken, mommy, you're gone, get it with no sweater, a coat, and cold weather, I'm dope. My flow's better than most, I'm so fed up with both. The code is here forever, I hope you know better than the boat is so veteran, bro. More focused than I've ever been, yo. Better be known, I got the medicine, the redder than your head of the rope. I show no love, it's the funk soul brother, got the flow so gutter, fucking hoes, no rubber, kill a newborn baby with a stone cold stunner. Time for war, tonight we dine in hell,
Tonight we dine in hell.
Never thought that if I slice a whore, down the spinal cord, to a vagina, chuck a tiny corpse inside the floor, that they would find it. Now I gotta find a ride to the other side of the border. My mind has been out of order since I was 9 and resorted to doing crimes with homies. Ever since the day decided to show me. Yo, what's happening in the back again? This rapping shit is simple. Grab a pad, a pen, a pencil. Rap about the shit you've been through. Get the snapping on an instrumental. Just imagine when you're platinum, all the cash it gets you. It's the last official savage on this planet that can spit the baddest damage.
Imagine when you're platinum, all the cash you get you. That's bullshit. I'ma come through and hit you. I'ma get you.
I'm unstoppable, flawless. Soccer hippopotamus in the boss with an ostrich. On top of your mom with a soft dick. Not enough from other oxys and Dilaudid in my pocket. I'm drop kicked in the
Dilaudid in my pocket.
Shit, Bob with the bomb, bitch. Rocking some long johns, a sawed off a cockpit. Ready to pop it off at your mom's kids, pops, bitch. Dogs, cousins, aunt, sis. If your uncle wanna rumble, put a couple in his cranium. All I'm saying is I'm trouble and I play to win. Ain't no way that you can take away the rage of me. So much anger, I'm impatient, going crazy then. I tell myself to stay in my lane and play the game. I'm breaking in and taking everything. And I ain't taking shit. I'm waiting for my Mercedes, 180 acres of blunt with a slut that made it. I'm up, but I'm underrated. You motherfuckers better run or I'm running over you. I'm fucking gonna make it, though.
Shit.
Whoa, that didn't happen though.
What the fuck did I just do? Still here? We still fucking here? Jesus, man, this shit keeps happening there. Alright, fuck. Oh, motherfucker. Already your connection unstable, blah, blah, blah.
Budget okayed by the board today, city's Karen Seal and State Council. You're going to be paying more thanks to those who don't pay up, says Councillor Denzel Minnan Wong.
Based on what? They never studied the issue.
Conservative estimate $60 million a year in fare evasion. If we had that $60 million in revenue, if the cheaters were cheating, there would be no fare
You're
evasion.
cheaters, and we know how much it is, even though we've never counted, and you're bad people. Based on what? Who you talking to?
For children and seniors will also rise a dime. Tokens and monthly passes also going to cost you more, but adult cash fares
The
stay
fare
same
hikes
at
they predicted
$3.25.
5 years
The
ago are
increases
because of
come
a
into
study
effect
they
in
did
March.
last
The
year
proposed
based on
budget
nothing.
also
They didn't
includes
watch
hiring
nobody get on the
dozens of
train,
local
nothing.
inspectors to crack down on fare evasion. The TTC's budget still needs final approval from City Council.
Gotta pay what, 30, 40 bucks an hour for one of these
We've
dudes?
just passed the 2-year anniversary of the deaths of Barry and Honey Sherman, and still no arrests. Police updating the case today now that a team of private investigators hired by the family has completed its work. Toronto Police Inspector Hank Nzinga says it's unusual for police to work a case at the same time as PIs.
It's a very unique situation.
That's
We've seen private
not
investigators
unusual, you
doing
fucking-
some overlapping work in cases in the past. We're not a dedicated team like we dealt with in this case. There's been some
Liar.
sharing of information.
Nzinga says this was a targeted killing, but he's not willing to share his thoughts on any possible motives or any theories police might have. A $10 million reward the Sherman family has offered for information leading to an arrest.
They
is
already
still
told
available.
us it's 2 Russian operatives that they cannot extradite. They've already told us that a year and a half ago.
In Hamilton, Transportation Minister Carolyn Mulroney says the project cost initially estimated to be $1 billion in 2014, an increase to $5.5 billion. The project, first announced by the previous Liberal government, which said it would pay the entire cost. Hamilton Mayor Fred Eisenberger says the cancellation is a betrayal of his city.
There is much more red ink than first thought. The Finance Department's fall fiscal update indicating the federal budget deficit will be billions of dollars more than projected this year and next. The deficit of $19.8 billion for this fiscal year now slated to hit $26.6 billion.
It's
Next
all
year's
going to come out of
deficit is
Indian
estimated to
Capital
be
Trust
$8.1
accounts.
billion
Why?
before accounting for promises the Liberals will unveil in their 2020 budget. Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll check on the price of the pumps.
680 News Time 909.
There's an app for finding ghosts and an app that makes you old. There's even an app that lets you talk to an animated hippo. Isn't it time you got an app you actually use? Download the Presto app and stay on top of your daily commute. Presto, tap on. With Autoload, reloading your Presto card is as easy as not going to the gym. In fact, it's probably even easier, because instead of that guilty feeling you get when you skip leg day, you get the bliss of knowing you'll always have enough fare wherever you go. Presto, tap on.
Now the 680 News gas price update, and pro predicting the price will not change at midnight, holding at $1.16.9 a liter at most GTA stations.
680 News Time 910.
Hey, Dad, I'm just reading here that the flu can be pretty serious for seniors.
Good thing I got a flu shot. High dose, actually. It's 24% more effective than Fluzone's standard dose. Your senior dad stays on top of things.
Trendsetter.
High dose is now covered in Ontario and free for adults 65 plus. Get the high dose vaccine only in doctors' clinics. Contact your doctor and make an appointment.
Vaccination does not provide 100% protection. Side effects and allergic reactions may occur. Talk to your doctor to see if this vaccine is
you
right
can
for
see
you,
that.
or visit
It's stainless.
fluzo.ca.
Where's my light?
You should really get a flu shot. The flu can hit seniors pretty hard.
I already got a flu shot. High dose, actually. My doctor
Oh,
recommends high dose because
glitters
it's
in the light or
24%
not? The
more
last one
effective
glittered
than
in the
Fluzone's
light.
standard dose. Your senior mom is smarter than you think.
High dose is now covered in Ontario and free for adults 65 plus. Get the high dose vaccine only in doctors' clinics. Contact your doctor and make an appointment.
Vaccination does not provide 100% protection.
The cop stole the
Side
last
effects and allergic
one.
reactions may
I got
occur.
another
Talk
one.
to your doctor to see if this vaccine is right for you, or visit fluzone.ca. 680 News Time 911.
Traffic and weather together on the one skyhawking.
This report brought to you by Nikon Canada. Well, now we're talking. This is a better drive. We had some problems on the DVP Gardner into 401. All of which have cleared, and all delays pretty well gone as well. East 401 now moving well through the Allen, both express and collectors after earlier problems. I'm not seeing really any delays north DVP heading up towards the 401 now after earlier problems near Lawrence cleared, and the westbound Gardner's been up to speed for a little while now after that long-standing spill cleanup at Jarvis.
What'd you spill?
Moved off the highway, so basically you'll pass by a couple of construction spots on your drive, but really nothing impacting speeds too much. Now they are setting down the cones on the eastbound 401 Through
It's
the
not volume, it's
412,
speed.
the right lane's being blocked off now. This one usually does cause a delay, so we'll keep a close
Keep
eye on
the
that.
traffic
And if you're
moving.
east of the GTA, east on the 401, east of Toronto Road, in the Port Hope area, we had a vehicle rollover here. So delays through this stretch from Toronto Road to east of it, but 1.5 kilometers worth of slow traffic. On the Fort Erie bound QEW from the 403 over to Plains, a bit slow through here. We have the left lane blocked off with a moving maintenance crew. They're going to be going over the Burlington Skyway to about Nikola Tesla, and they're in the left lane the whole way, so we'll keep an eye on them as they move along. Right now, it's not too bad. As you approach Plains, it's just a bit slow with the lane restriction. Need gift ideas for the holidays? How about a Nikon DSLR camera or lenses? Right now, save up to $800 during the Capture the Savings event at your local Nikon authorized dealer. Your next report at 9:21, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahide.
A system bypassing the Great Lakes to the south overnight tonight into tomorrow morning could drop about trace to a centimeter or two of snow. Unfortunately, it's the timing that sucks. It'll be through that morning commute and then tapering off through the afternoon with a bit of sun and a high of 1 degree, even a couple more centimeters from Hamilton to Niagara. Wednesday is going to be a tricky cold front in the morning, dropping snow heavy at times, and then we'll get a break through the middle of the day, but lake effect snow on and off will take over through the afternoon with gusty northwest winds. Temperatures falling from -4 down to -10. Wind chills by the afternoon near -20. Tonight we're down to a low of -4 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, +1 and overcast. At Pearson Airport, 0, feeling like -4 with some clouds. 680 News Time, 9:13.
A suspected impaired car thief trying to run from police in Oshawa today didn't factor in the strong sense of smell of a four-legged officer. Police getting the call just before 4 o'clock about an impaired driver near Ritson Road. They later found the car abandoned on Montcalm Avenue, the suspect taking off through backyards in that neighborhood. But a police dog was able to find him on Waverly Street in a hot tub underwater. The 29-year-old man, no fixed address, now facing 20 criminal charges. Counting up in 60 seconds.
Why would you jump underwater in
top
this weather,
headlines and See how
bro?
the Raptors are doing tonight.
680 News Time, 9:14.
Hot tub, yeah, they're gonna follow the smell right up to the hot tub, bro.
Mornings starting at 5:30.
This is 680 News.
The weather outside is frightful. The fire is so delightful. Since we've no place
to go.
The holidays don't quite feel like the holidays without a home. Share the warmth with Toronto's
I
homeless.
found it the other way around, man. You truly appreciate things when you ain't got nothing.
Year after year, the Alta Group of Infinity dealers has won awards for customer satisfaction. They've also won awards for the number of Infinities they've sold. If you're shopping or need to service your vehicle, go where the customers are pleased and the vehicles are plentiful. Alta Infinity Woodbridge, 400 Infinity Innisfil, Infinity of Brampton, Canada's #1 volume Infinity Group. Go to altagroup.ca.
Part of the Bacon Auto Group.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. Overcast and 1 degree in downtown Toronto. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Caitlin Lee. Here are the top stories this hour.
Despite the help of a mediator, both the Ford government and the union representing Ontario's teachers have refused to offer anything new at the bargaining table. Talks for tomorrow have since been cancelled. That means Wednesday's one-day walk-off by public high school teachers at 10 Ontario school boards is expected to go ahead as planned.
A dangerous afternoon for pedestrians on city streets. An 11-year-old girl in hospital in serious but stable condition after being struck by a fire truck at Oakwood and Rosemount, just south of St. Clair. 5 pedestrians have been hit since 1 o'clock this afternoon. 3 of them suffering serious injuries.
Photo radar returns
Look
to
at both
Toronto.
ways
First of
across
about
in the
50
street.
automated
Don't
speed
slip.
enforcement
People with no
signs going
hip,
up in
don't
Etobicoke
slip.
today on Renforth near Torrington. Once they go up, you'll have about 90 days until they start doling out tickets.
For these stories and more, open up the 680 News app or head to 680news.com.
Now 680 Sports brought to you by Bodog.net from Sportsnet 590 fan and Rob Warren.
Scott, happening now, the Raptors looking to close out a win against the Cleveland Cavaliers at Scotiabank Arena. Osmond couldn't grab the rebound, yanked down by OG, kicks ahead to Pascal. Siakam throw it up and throw it down, my goodness! Norm Powell just came down from the ceiling There's Eric Smith with the call on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. The Raptors leading by as many as 20 points in this game, but the Cavaliers not going away, down by just 11 right now with 8:30 left to go in the fourth quarter. And Norm Powell with another big game for the Raptors. He's got 26 points as Pascal Siakam is leading the way with 27. The lead right now is 13, 110-97 for the Raptors with just over 8 minutes remaining. You can watch the game on Sportsnet 1. Taylor Hall is on his way to the desert. The New Jersey Devils trading the forward to Arizona today for a pair of draft picks and 3 prospects. Hall expected to play tomorrow night for the Coyotes, where he will make his debut against San Jose. Maple Leafs practicing today, and Tyson Barrie was a full participant as the Maple Leafs will take on the Sabres tomorrow at Scotiabank Arena. If Barrie can't play, Toronto does have options. They called up Timothy Liljegren and Martin Marincin on an emergency basis. And in the NFL, the Monday Nighter on the go right now. Saints leading the Colts 17-0 with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 9:17.
Did you know that there is a fast way to send money abroad? It's called Zoom. Xoom. The money transfer app from PayPal that lets you send money abroad fast at amazing rates. Send money directly to bank accounts or for cash pickup at thousands of locations around the world. Don't go to the store and wait in line to send money. Download the Zoom app today and send money right from your phone. Money goes Zoom.
Don't know what to get them for the holidays?
A fidget spinner? Really? I birthed
Only got
your
a
3
fidget, but
children,
I think he gonna
and you
spin
get
it.
me a glow-in-the-dark fidget spinner?
How about better sleep from Sleep Country? Hurry into the Boxing Week sale and give the gift of better sleep. Plus, get amazing prices on sleep essentials like duvets, pillows, sheets, and more. And get a Hot Buy Queen mattress with temperature control, just $369. Hurry in store or online because it's on now. Sleep
I had
Country.
curry chicken and rice and peas today. Cooked by Jamaican
680
girls.
News Time 918.
Toronto Police one step closer to getting $40 million more next year. The Police Services Board voting yes to the budget request for 2020. 680's Martin Douglas takes a look.
Bankrupt the city, please.
$1,076 million. That amount got thumbs up for the 2020 police operating budget. The bulk of the new money will pay for hiring 341 new officers. Police Chief Mark Saunders.
The service will continue to focus on intelligence-led policing and deployment to ensure we are where the public needs us the most.
Police
We're gonna
CAO
focus on
Tony
deployment.
Veneziano
That's good,
points
buddy.
out how more people in
Deployment
Toronto
is a good
needs more
thing.
work for their officers.
6.7% increase in gun calls, a 16% increase in shooting incidents.
And with urgent numbers like that,
You say
Mayor John Tory says the
6.7% in calls,
taxpayers will
but
understand
16%
this
actual
is a
increase?
time to invest in
Did you just say
safety.
that?
They said we have to invest more in neighborhoods and kids and families, and they're right. But I haven't heard too many saying we should be investing much less.
At City Hall, I'm Mark Douglas.
I think you're wasting the money.
President Donald Trump defending his personal attorney who
You haven't
continues to
heard me because
investigate
you keep
Democrats
pretending
and
you
the
don't know who
Bidens.
I
And you heard
am.
President Trump saying even though his personal attorney Rudy Giuliani's
Been here
associates
longer
are
than you,
charged
John.
with crimes and that federal investigators are looking into Giuliani, the president still stands by him.
He's a very great crime fighter. He was probably the greatest crime fighter over the last 50 years, very smart.
The president saying his personal
Is he
attorney
fucking Dick
Giuliani
Tracy?
hasn't told him much about what he's found in Ukraine on Democrats or the Bidens. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
680 News Time 920.
CAMH is Canada's leading hospital for mental health. Help make this year's holidays brighter for patients at CAMH through Gifts of Light. When you support Gifts of Light, a patient in need receives a gift that reminds them they aren't alone this holiday season. Small gifts can make a big difference to someone living with mental illness.
It's not true. That's some weird psychological shit they're trying to convince us of.
At giftsoflight.ca today.
So, Vince, was there anything different about buying a car from Aaron Park Lexus?
At Aaron Park Lexus, there's no pressure to buy. They make you feel at ease. They spend as much time as you need with them.
How many cars have you bought here?
We're probably on our 5th or 6th Lexus.
Is that right?
Aaron Park. It's a December to remember. Get $2,000 credit on 2020 RX 350s with 2.9% lease rates up to 40 months.
Aaron Park. 680 News Time 921.
Traffic and weather together on the run, so Kyle.
This report brought to you by TSC. be starting to get rather heavy on the Fort Erie bound QEW as you travel toward the Burlington Skyway. From Brant over to Plains Road, it's because through here the left lane is blocked off with some moving maintenance. We have a crew in the left lane, and they're going to be traveling beyond this over the Burlington Skyway to about Nikola Tesla doing some work. So you'll see those crews in the left lane for the next short while. And as you travel off that, as you travel from the westbound QEW onto the Fort Erie bound QEW from Brant over to Plains Road, it's quite slow because the left lane is blocked through here. Another minor problem northbound on the 404, the ramp to Steeles and Woodbine. At the start of the ramp, the right lane is blocked with a collision. We have crews on scene, plenty of flashing lights to guide you around that. And it is starting to slow a little on the East 401 through the 412. Minor delays because the right lane is being blocked off for construction. Right now, we've also got in the Port Hope area, so well east of us, east of Toronto Road, all lanes blocked with traffic using the shoulder to get past the scene of a vehicle rollover that's still being cleaned up. So for about 1.5 kilometers, it's heavy traffic that you'll have to work your way through. A couple more ramp closures for overnight construction. The Keel ramps to the westbound 401 shut down for maintenance, as well the westbound 407 ramp to the 403 in Oakville. That one's also been closed for maintenance work. And you'll find as well the Queensway ramps to the southbound 427 closed for construction as well. Give the gift of joy and win the holidays with TSC's unbelievable offers on the best of tech, fashion, home, kitchen, and more. Shop tsc.ca, today's shopping choice. Your next report at 9:31, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsay.
-4 degrees overnight tonight. Watch for some light snow early tomorrow morning. It's only about trace to a centimeter or two with those higher amounts hugging the lakeshore. So the further north you go, less chance of that precipitation, but also about 2 to 4 centimeters for Hamilton over to Niagara. This is all through the morning commute. The afternoon will be drier, a high of 1 degree. Wednesday morning's commute, though, bringing in some snow heavy at times as this cold front comes through. This is the infamous cold front you've been hearing about, bringing in the coldest air of the season so far. We'll also have lake effect snow to deal with through Wednesday afternoon with gusty northwest winds. Temperatures falling from -4 down to -10, wind chill -20 by Wednesday afternoon, and Thursday morning's wind chill still -22. It'll be mainly cloudy with a chance for some late day flurries and much below seasonal with a high of -7. Tonight we're down to
this is going to be problematic. This is
right
going to
now
be
in downtown
problematic.
Toronto, +1 overcast. It's 0 at Pearson Airport.
Coming up at 9:30, something's got to give, but not today. Both sides on the education debate still not budging from their positions. We'll have the latest from Charmaine Close straight ahead.
I didn't even hear Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday is going to be -20 and
-22.
-22.
Holidays at La Castille, gathering with loved ones, entertaining clients or colleagues.
I'll get to
the
that in a
lunch
second.
experience
Holy
at La
fuck.
Castille is an unparalleled one. Chose the season over prime-aged charcoal broiled steaks and succulent seafood. With the extravagant dining room and cozy, comfortable lounge to choose from, La Castille is the perfect spot for an intimate gathering or large corporate function. Book your
My whole
lunch
week
now.
just
La
changed.
Castille,
Holy
minutes from
fuck,
Sherway
man.
Gardens on Dundas, west of the 427. Visit lacastille.com.
Weather is always changing. Now more than ever.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day.
This is 680 News.
Ask for us on your smart speaker.
All Christmas news in
I
60
make that
seconds.
glitter
Enjoy
if
a
I
great
tilt it
big
this
winter
way.
welcome in New
This
York
one's not
City.
scalloped like the other one was.
Seize the season with Porter Airlines at a special offer called NYC Winter Outing. This offer includes 2-for-1 tickets to top attractions and Broadway shows, plus prefix deals at the best restaurants. Make it happen January 21 through February 9 by booking your flight to New York City with Porter Airlines.
I gotta let that sink in before I light the joint. Jesus Christ, man.
Porter. Fine, refined.
I might be doing videos for 3 days straight, eh?
In the face. Your bank
Please,
refused
send
your
food.
mortgage. Don't get mad. Call
And
Northwood
charcoal.
Mortgage. Northwood Mortgage takes a closer look at your financial picture, property equity, past record, the promise of performance, and more. Northwood Mortgage does everything they can to approve the mortgage you need. That's their business.
I need a forgivable mortgage.
Visit NorthwoodMortgage.com.
We're working harder for you.
Environment Canada first.
Brought to you by the Scott Mission. The Distillery District's Christmas market getting worldwide recognition. CNN naming it one of the best in the world. In a write-up, CNN calls it an enchanting scene with glittering lights, a Santa's grotto, fairground rides, and holiday vendors selling everything from poutine to one-off Christmas gifts. It also calls the 50-foot-tall Christmas tree dazzling. Toronto's Christmas market is an amazing company. Markets from Strasbourg, France, Vienna, Austria, Krakow, Poland, Berlin, Germany, and Budapest, Hungary, also on that list.
Christmas news at 25 minutes past every hour on 680 News.
Now the business reporter's Richard.
It's amazing the price of some things at auction sell for. The bat used by Babe Ruth to hit his 500th home run was auctioned off over the weekend for just over $1 million US. Now, the legendary baseball player hit his 500th digger on August 11th, 1929. Ruth was the first of just 27 Major League players to reach that mark. He gave the autograph bat to his friend, who was then the mayor of Suffern, New York. And this was in the 40s. And it's been in his family for some 75 years. They kept it in the family home, wouldn't tell even their closest friends about it because they were worried it could get stolen. Ruth's personal items have fetched high prices at auctions. His jersey that he wore between 1928 and 30 sold for a record $5.6 million earlier this year.
12 minus 12 minus 15.
Boeing announcing that it will temporarily stop production of its 737 MAX jets in January. The company has been assembling about 40 a month, even though they have been grounded since March amid two deadly crashes. It's created a backlog.
We have a disagreement here between what Environment Canada and the news.
Well, this is a move that could certainly affect the overall U.S. economy, being that Boeing is so big and there's parts of the plane made all over the place. The company, though, says it's not planning on laying any of the assembly line workers off. Boeing stock was lower, both in the...
How about the engineers, the board members that approved
Didn't
this
affect the Dow, though. It notched a record high, up 100 points at 28,235. The S&P up 22 at a record 3191. And the NASDAQ as well, notching a record high, gaining 79 points today, largely on U.S.-China trade optimism. TSX gained 53 points to 17,056. The Toronto stock market up 19.33% on the year. Its best year since 2009. Gold at $1,480, and the loonie at 75.99 cents U.S. Top stories are next on 680 News.
Forget Boxing Day. December is Boxing Month at Mount Batias, Mississauga and Rexdale Hyundai. Celebrate this season with offers like don't pay for 90 days, a $500 winter tire credit, and an additional $500 off, all on select models for Boxing Month. Visit MississaugaHyundai.com and RexdaleHyundai.ca. Hyundais don't fit down chimneys, so hurry in and see now. It's the slam dunk deal of the year.
Boxing Month, all December long at Mississauga and Rexdale Hyundai. See dealer for details.
I see my dealer for all the details.
Unwrap more. The buy one, get one when you activate 2 lines with the Samsung Galaxy S10 and S10e on select 2-year plans. That means more for you and them with our greatest BOGO yet. More perfect holiday photos with Samsung's Pro-Grade multi-camera. And infinite data you can share when you get them both on a Rogers Infinite plan. Get twice the nice with Samsung BOGO during the Rock and Red event. On now at Rogers.
It's time for the 680 News Business Travelers Forecast, brought to you by Park and Fly. Start your trip at Park and Fly Valet and give your car that optional detailing or oil change it needs all while you're away. Let Park and Fly help you free up your weekend. Visit parkandfly.ca for details.
How are you going to know for sure after you've been gone for 2 weeks? Mind all fucking gone that they did any of the work.
-4. 680 News time, 9:30.
Sure, we changed the oil.
#1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Scott Burnett and Caitlin Lee. Good evening. It's Monday, December 16th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
The teachers' talks fall apart, both sides blaming the other, saying neither one is willing to give. An 11-year-old child has been seriously injured after being hit by a fire truck in Midtown Toronto. The emergency vehicle was on its way to a call.
Well, technically that means the vehicle actually had the right of way in this province.
Decades since a sort of zany family of 5 hit our TV screens.
Raptors up 121-07 against the Cleveland Cavaliers late in the fourth quarter. The Arizona Coyotes acquired Taylor Hall from the Devils. Sports at 45.
The federal government says it plans to force Netflix and other streaming services to put more Canadian content on. Boeing to stop production temporarily of its 737 MAX. Wall Street hits a record. Business at 56.
Time for traffic and weather together on the one. Here is Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by Serpa.ca. We've got 2 delays on the highways right now. And one problem that's not causing a delay, that'd be northbound 404 on the ramp to Steeles. The right lane is blocked with a collision midway down that ramp, but it's not causing any delays for your drive. In fact, it's just after you exit the 404, sort of near the start of the ramp. That ramp to Steeles and Woodbine, right lane blocked there. Crews on scene. If you're traveling the eastbound 401, this is one of the 2 delays. It's at the 412 where we have the right lane being blocked up for construction. So things starting to slow from about Lake Ridge to east of the 412 just as you head into this construction zone. As well, we have on the Fort Erie bound QEW, slow traffic from just past Brant over to Plains Road. That's where the left lane is blocked off with the moving maintenance crews. So they're going to be traveling over the Burlington Skyway to about Nikola Tesla, and they'll be in the left lane the whole way. We'll keep an eye on this crew. Well east of us, outside of the GTA, we do have an East 401 delay through Toronto Road in Port Hope. A vehicle had rolled over there. Only the shoulder was open for traffic to pass by. Last check, about 1.5 kilometers worth of slow traffic there. And also off the highways, we've got this construction crew back in place on Parkside at the Lakeshore. Only one direction of traffic being allowed through at a time on Parkside. So it's quite heavy, especially southbound from south of Hyde Park Boulevard down to the Lakeshore. Is your vehicle making a funny noise? Get it checked at Serpa.ca. All brands, all models, Serpa.ca. Any car, anytime, anywhere. Your next report at 9:41, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahide.
Looking at a little bit of light snow for the morning commute, especially between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m. Trace to 1 centimeter or 2 possible, and best chance will be across the South GTA. Even higher amounts from Hamilton over to Niagara tomorrow morning. We'll wake up to -4. Afternoon temperature with drier conditions getting up to 1 degree. Tonight we're dropping to a low of -4 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now, overcast and 1. 680 News Time, 9:33.
She said it was -20 last time around.
Attempts by a mediator to find some wiggle room at the bargaining table. Talks between the Ford government and the province's educators remain at a standstill.
680's Charlene Close joins us with the latest from both sides.
On the advice of the mediator, Tuesday's talks are canceled. OSSTF President Harvey Bischoff tells me the government isn't budging.
No, they're still committed to eroding the quality of education in this province, and they have not backed off that commitment.
Education Minister Stephen Lecce says he's frustrated, claiming the union hasn't changed its position at all and didn't come to the table with any new proposals. So it looks like Wednesday's one-day strike will go ahead at 10 boards, including the public and Catholic boards in York and the public board in Halton. Now, since the Christmas break starts next week, there won't be any job action to deal with over the holidays. But what happens in the new year?
Have to see how things proceed between now and then. At the moment, we don't have any further dates scheduled.
I'm Charlene Close. Earlier today, the Ford government came under fire after it announced the cancellation of the proposed Hamilton Light Rail Transit project, a project the province claims has skyrocketed in cost. 680's Richard Southern has more.
The Hamilton LRT was years in the making. The Ford government today, though, says it's pulling the plug on $1 billion of funding that was promised for the project. And it's not going over well in Hamilton, nor is it going over well with NDP leader Andrea Horwath, who's from the Hamilton area.
This is another callous cut by the Ford government. They've made up numbers again to try to justify this cut, but it is an absolute betrayal of the people of Hamilton.
The Ford government says its estimates show the cost of the project is higher than expected. That's why it's pulling the funding. Richard Southern, 680 News.
680 News Time, 9:35. Toronto police investigating a collision involving a fire truck that sent an 11-year-old child to hospital with serious injuries. 680's Phil Martino tells us it happened in Midtown this afternoon. She joins us live with the details. Phil.
Scott, Toronto Police Constable David Hopkinson says the fire truck hit a child near Oakwood and Rosemount, south of St. Clair, just before 3:30 p.m.
Suffering either a broken femur, broken hip, something like that. That's the information we have so far.
Toronto paramedics say the victim's a girl and that her condition has been stabilized. Toronto Fire Chief Matthew Pegg confirms crews were responding to a fire on St. Clair Avenue West.
And during the course of that response, the fire truck, of course, was proceeding to the emergency with lights and sirens sounding. Unfortunately, came in contact with a young girl in the intersection of Oakwood and Rosemont.
Peg says an investigation is underway by Toronto Police and Toronto Fire is fully cooperating. This isn't the only collision involving a pedestrian today. 5 have been hit since 1 this afternoon. 3 suffered serious injuries. Phil Martino, 680 News.
Toronto is taking their first step to photo radar in dozens of locations across the city. There will be 50 automated speed enforcement signs going up across the city, 2 in each ward. The first was unveiled in Etobicoke today. Provincial rules require the city to post the signs 90 days before a ticket can be issued. Mayor John Tory says the tickets aren't just about money.
The purpose of it is just to get people to slow down. You know, if they just got a warning in the mail and they promised forever and never were speeding again, I'd be happy with that. But that doesn't seem to work with human behavior.
Last year, 40 pedestrians were killed on city streets.
You're so special because you could drive, eh? You're so
2 years
special.
later, the investigation into the
They don't even, it doesn't have to be a nice car. They don't even have to own it. Once they're behind the wheel, they get all
there are
fucked up.
0 suspects, and investigators are still appealing for help in the case. Toronto Police giving an
0
update on the case today. Inspector Hank Nzinga saying investigators are not panicked.
It has been 2 years, but that's not unusual, especially in an investigation such as this.
The private investigators hired by the Sherman family have now wrapped up their portion of the investigation, turning over more than 340 tips to police. But Nzinga would like anyone who has submitted a tip to do so again.
We'd like those tips directly to us and avoid those time delays and avoid any potential editing of the tips.
He's calling it a targeted killing. A $10 million reward offered by the family to anyone with information that helps solve the case is still available.
Toronto Police could be getting hundreds of new officers next year now that a massive $1 billion plus operating budget has cleared its first hurdle.
The vote is yes for a $1,076 million operating budget for Toronto Police next year, $40 million more than this year's budget. Chief Mark Saunders explains what the city is buying.
A total of 341 net new officers in order to support moving to a more proactive policing and enforcement model.
Mayor John Tory says he believes the taxpayers will understand the need for more money.
Whether it's with gun violence, I think most importantly and most acutely, or with traffic and pedestrian safety, or with the issues of trust in the community, that this is the time to make this kind of investment.
Of the new officers coming, 140 will work in priority response units, 8 will work on the new Vision Zero enforcement teams. At City Hall, I'm Mark Douglas.
Well, tomorrow will mark another milestone for a comedy institution.
Special day. Oh, what have I forgotten? No. Now don't panic. Is it Bacon Day? No, that's crazy talk.
That's not crazy talk. Tomorrow will be 30 years since The Simpsons aired its first full-length episode on December
30 years
17,
today, the Rupert Hotel burned down. I thought that was more important.
672 episodes have since been broadcast. It is the longest-running American sitcom and the longest-running American scripted primetime television series, both in terms of seasons and number of episodes. I still love it.
Me too.
That's a hot take, I know.
And I'm giving away my age, but I'm the same age as The Simpsons. So that's pretty crazy. I grew up with it.
We all did.
In 30 seconds, I'll check gas prices.
680 News Time 9:39.
Here's 4 holiday carolers working in unison to demonstrate Subaru symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Nice. Now here's what that sounds like if it wasn't full-time. Again, full-time all-wheel drive. Not full-time all-wheel drive. And in a Canadian winter, that doesn't sound right. Visit your Subaru dealer for a $500 holiday bonus at the My Subaru Gave to Me holiday event.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. EdPro predicts the price will not change at midnight, holding at $1.16.9 a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather is next.
680 News Time 9:40.
The world's greatest magicians come together live on stage for a holiday spectacular. The Illusionist Magic of the Holidays. This breathtaking magic spectacular showcases the jaw-dropping talents of the most incredible illusionists on Earth, seated before they disappear. The Illusionist Magic of the Holidays. Coming to Toronto from January 1st through 5th only. Book at meridianhall.com.
OFX are global money transfer specialists, helping individuals and businesses move money in 55 currencies. OFX is on a mission to lead the age of borderless money by combining a streamlined digital experience, 24/7 human support, and competitive rates. Whether you are sending money to family abroad, paying for overseas purchases, or just want to hang on to more of your money as it travels around the world. Learn more at OFX.com or simply download the OFX app. It's how the world moves money.
News Time 941.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Kyle Hawking.
And this report is brought to you by Michael Hill. We've still got this construction going on in the westbound QEW, the Fort Erie bound QEW. In fact, it's rolling maintenance through Plains Road. They're in the left lane, this crew is, and they're going to be moving over the Burlington Skyway. Delay, though, in this area is pretty well eased off as they've come around the bend just a little ways. So that's where the highway widens a little bit. So there's a little bit more space for traffic to get through. And now there's no delay through this area. If you're traveling the north 404, the ramp to Steeles and Woodbine, right near the start of that ramp, we have the right lane blocked for the collision. Crews are on scene. Flashing lights will guide you past this. No delay in this area, though. It is heavy on the eastbound 401 for a stretch from about the 412 over to Brock Street. That's where we have the right lane blocked for overnight construction, so that's slowing things down in this area. And then well east of us in the Port Hope area, eastbound 401 just east of Toronto Road, we've still only got the shoulder open for traffic to pass by the scene of a vehicle rollover that's still being cleaned up. So for about 1.5 kilometers, you're into some heavy traffic. We have ramp closures affecting our other routes for overnight construction. North and southbound Kiel ramps to the westbound 401 are closed. Also, the westbound 407 ramp to the 403 in Oakville, that is shut down. And the Queensway ramps to the southbound 427 are off limits as well. Try to avoid Parkside near the lakeshore if possible. It's not only down to a single lane each way for construction, but only one direction of traffic is being allowed through at a time, all for bridge work underneath the Gardner. Michael Hill's sale is on. Save on holiday gifts with up to 25% off selected diamonds and up to 50% off selected gold and silver at Michael Hill. Your next report at 9:51. And with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahide.
A system bypassing the Great Lakes to the south overnight tonight into tomorrow morning could drop about trace to a centimeter or two of snow. Unfortunately, it's the timing that sucks. It'll be through that morning commute and then tapering off through the afternoon with a bit of sun and a high of 1 degree, even a couple more centimeters from Hamilton to Niagara. Wednesday is going to be a tricky cold front in the morning, dropping snow heavy at times. And then we'll get a break through the middle of the day, but lake effect snow on and off will take over through the afternoon with gusty northwest winds. Temperatures falling from -4 down to -10, wind chills by the afternoon near -20. Tonight we're down to a low of -4 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, overcast 1 degree. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport. 680 News Time 943.
Uber has teamed up with Mothers Against Drunk Driving to encourage people to plan ahead over the holidays. Man Canada says every day on average, up to 4 Canadians are killed in alcohol or drug-related crashes in this country. Uber says it wants to be an easy option for riders to get to and from celebrations this holiday season. The company is also partnering with police to help distribute safety toolkits to educate the public on how easy it is to find a ride home. Your headlines are next.
680 News Time 944.
Husband? Check. Sister? Check. Mother-in-law? Check. You've covered everyone on your gift list already? In record time, too. Found it all in one place at tsc.ca. Wow, what did you get? This Snag hand blender for my sister. Bose Bluetooth audio sunglasses for my guy. And a Thomas Savo watch for his mom. Nice. And with all the exclusive offers at TSC, I can treat myself to something special. Ooh, maybe that cute Brian Bailey, too.
Yo, one bus ain't gonna sell for 10,000 bucks.
Keep the gift of joy this season. Visit tsc.ca. Today's shopping choice.
Joker, a meteor set to collide with our west coast in mere minutes. What do we do? Not to worry, Governor. I will simply fly around the Earth fast enough to reverse our polarity and turn back time. Joker away! You've only taken 3 steps. Here I go. You're basically standing still. Can the toga help innocent citizens breathe easier? Probably not. Find out why at thetogaonline.ca.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It is -1, partly cloudy. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Caitlin Lee.
I'm Scott Burnett. Here are the top stories this hour.
A one-day walkout Wednesday for Ontario secondary school teachers. Looks like it will go ahead. Union President Harvey Bischoff saying things did not go well today, even with the mediator, and contract talks have been canceled for tomorrow. Now, that one-day strike not affecting the TDSB. 11-year-old girl rushed to hospital after she was struck by a fire truck in the Oakwood and St. Clair area this afternoon. The emergency vehicle was on its way to a call when it happened, but her injuries are non-life-threatening. And The Simpsons celebrating 30 years since it aired its first episode on December 17th, 1989. That's tomorrow. And a lot of us here in the newsroom talking about how it has pretty much shaped our lives. We're quoting it all the time.
Really?
680 News Time, 9:45. Now time for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here is Rob Wong.
Caitlin, Pascal Siakam, Norm Powell, and Kyle Lowry combined for 79 points as the Raptors beat the Cavaliers 133-113.
Siakam, far sideline, another three ball up and in. Pascal Siakam.
There's Eric Smith with the call on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Siakam leading the way with 33 points on the night. Toronto shot 58% from the field and 50% from three-point land to win their second in a row. In NHL news, the New Jersey Devils finally got a package they liked. They sent Taylor Hall today to the Arizona Coyotes. In exchange, the former Hart Trophy winner, the Devils get 2 draft picks and 3 prospects. The Maple Leafs practice today. They'll be home to the Buffalo Sabres tomorrow. And right now in the NFL's Monday Nighter, it is the Saints leading the Colts 20-0 at the half. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 9:47.
I'm off the medications and I feel great because I lost the weight that was making me sick. And you can too. I'm Pat Carano, a 51-year-old accounting professional from Woodbridge.
I have no weight
Sleep
to
apnea,
lose.
sciatica. I had it all until I lost the weight and kept it off with the team at Harvey Brooker Weight Loss for Men. Don't miss 20% off 2020 memberships. New members only. Call now, 416-222-9887. HarveyBrooker.com. If you could do it alone, you would have done it already.
The season of one-horse open sleighs has got a lot more powerful. Now experience the exhilaration of controlling a whole stable under your hood. And with Lexus's December to Remember event, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel of a Lexus.
Lease a 2020 Lexus NX300 for as low as 1.9% APR with delivery credits up to $1,500. Visit LexusGTA.ca or your Toronto area Lexus dealer.
680 News Time, 9:48.
Get ready to pay more to ride the TTC again. The ninth fare increases 2009 set to come into effect next year. 680's Karen Seolan has the details.
The TTC board has officially passed its 2020 budget, and it includes a 10-cent fare hike on all rides except the adult cash fare. The increases come into effect March 1st and are expected to raise about $31 million. TTC CEO Rick Leary says the budget also includes hiring more enforcement officers to crack down on the people who are purposely not paying.
This year, as we build a little bit on the benefits of the last few years' service, we asked for a little more from both our customers, those that are cheating us with the fare evasion, as well as some help from the city, and will help us continue the good service.
Fare evasion cost the TTC more than $60 million last year alone. The proposed budget goes to council in February for approval. I'm Karen Seolan.
Rising
I do see people getting on without tapping,
for economic growth.
and they all have
The key
money.
themes
Nice
coming out of the
clothes
federal
on.
fiscal update released today in our nation's capital.
This fiscal year and next, the Feds
The
will
type
be
of people that
billions
think they're
more
going
in
to
the
talk
red
their way
than
out of the
projected
ticket.
in the last budget. In fact, by March, our expected deficit of $19.8 billion will have grown to $26.6 billion. That's thanks in part to income tax reductions from the government. But Finance Minister Bill Morneau says our economy does remain solid and our debt to GDP ratio continues to shrink.
This shows that what we've done over the last number of years has been positive. By investing in Canadians, both in them directly and in infrastructure, we've seen strong growth.
Conservative critic Pierre Poilievre claims that growing liberal deficits are sending the country down a dangerous path.
The prospect of a made-in-Canada recession.
However, Minister Morneau insists the government's folks are well positioned to deal with any possible downturns. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
The budget will balance itself. This is what the fucking man said, eh?
Extended forecast.
Got what you voted for.
9:50. The holidays are coming faster than Santa's sleigh. They'll be here before you know it. If you want to pay down some bills and simplify things heading into the new year, and even free up some money for the holidays, consider a consolidation loan from PrudentFinancial.net. Use the equity in your car or home.
Borrow too much money?
Up to $35,000
Borrow some more.
the same day. Go to PrudentFinancial.net and apply today. Wishing you and yours a magical holiday season. PrudentFinancial.net.
This NHL season, Mr. Conn Smythe Ryan O'Reilly is lighting it up
On Sportsnet.
while insider Elliot Friedman is breaking it down on Sportsnet. Where we at, King Henrik?
On Sportsnet.
When news breaks, you want to hear Berkey's hot takes on Help Us Out, Max.
On Sportsnet.
Right. We got Captain Connor on the ice and Tim Houston to make it.
They didn't tell us much about that police budget, but it says here. What the fuck? About 90% of the operating budget is for officers and staff salaries, and it includes the hiring of 341 additional officers. Police Chief Mark Saunders, fuck you, house nigger, says 140 of those new officers will be assigned to the Priority Response Unit, PRU, whatever the fuck that is, as part of a new shift schedule. Another 40 officers will be assigned as neighborhood community officers, and 8 others will work on a new Vision Zero safety team. In budget documents, Saunders also said, hold up. The addition of these new officers will help the service enhance community safety and allow us to build towards increasing proactive policing. Yeah, you used every buzzword, buddy, said Saunders. In budget documents, Saunders also said it is not sustainable to continue to offset exceptional growth with, somebody said exponential, and they said, no, it has to be exceptional because it's not exponential. Exceptional growth with efficiencies and staffing reductions, and also continue to deliver service levels that keep the city safe. What's a service level? And what's this efficient your staffing exceptional growth, but staffing reductions. So where's the growth? And what's wrong with finding efficiencies? Mayor John Tory, a member of the Police Services Board, said he believes taxpayers will understand the need for more money with increasing gun violence in the city. Violent crime is down, you lying faggot. The people who pay the bills, I think they are expecting us to make an investment in the community. Yeah, but you just gave all the money to the cops, stupid, said Tory during the meeting. They have said we have to invest more in neighborhoods and kids and families, and they're right. But I haven't heard too many saying we should be investing much less. Okay, but you just totally did the exact opposite of what they said. They said, don't give the cops more money. Do something with the kids today so this don't happen another 10 years from now. No, you don't listen. You're like John Clark. I wish I could send you all back across the ocean, eh? Road stay. You go.
This make, this model, and you got it.
Well, 9 dealerships together. I knew we wouldn't have to look too hard.
They just keep saying yes, no matter what you want.
Maple Auto Mall is my kind of mall.
Personally, I think this sets a bad precedent.
Happy holidays from the Maple Auto Mall.
Honesty is our only policy.
680 News.
You lie all the time.
A rapper has scored his first #1. A classic rock band still getting love on the Billboard charts.
Roddy Ricch didn't have to sell his soul to sell albums. The Compton rapper debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200 album chart with his debut solo album, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. Not a bad year for the 21-year-old, who also scored his first 3 Grammy nominations in 2019. In second, it's new music from The Who. Rock band's new album, Who, ties a career high for them on the chart. Last time they reached the second spot was 41 years ago with 1978's Who Are You?
Jason Nathanson, ABC News.
In 60 seconds, we'll check in at the Business Center.
680 News Time, 9:55.
Rexall can help with holiday gifts.
Spend $50, get 100 bonus air miles.
Yeah, Dad, it's Beauty Thursday. Oh, let's get that perfume for Mom. Some cologne and maybe that aftershave for Jake.
Sure.
Then use the bonus air miles to treat ourselves to a little something.
I like the way you think. You know, I wouldn't mind trying those face masks you and your friends always talk about.
Ooh, I like the way you think. This Beauty Thursday, get 100 bonus air miles when you spend $50 or more on skincare, cosmetics, hair care, and fragrances. Visit Rexall.ca for details.
Me and this F-150, we are in it for the long haul.
Oh yeah? What about costs like insurance, maintenance, fuel?
No problem. It just won an award for lowest cost to own in its class, 5th year in a row.
Wow, sounds like you really love your truck.
Yeah.
Get the Ford F-150, the truck with the Vincentric Award for lowest cost to own in its class. Now during the Ford year-end event, get up to $10,500 in rebates on select new 2019 F-150 models. Get the truck that's built for the long haul. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca.
680 News Time, 9:56.
Now, time for your business report. Here is Richard Seller.
Good evening. The federal government wants to force Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime and all the streaming services to show more Canadian content. The Heritage Minister expected to introduce legislation by the end of next year to mandate Canadian content on these streaming services. We don't want to know exactly how much. Right now, in your traditional over-the-air TV and radio, you have to show 50% Canadian content between 6 p.m. and midnight. There are no specific rules as it stands now for streaming services. All right, meantime, after the bell, Boeing announcing that it will temporarily stop production of its 737 MAX jets in January. The company had been assembling 40 of the planes a month, even with the plane having been grounded since March amid 2 deadly crashes. It's created a backlog of some 400 of the jets. Boeing stock was lower in the after-hours trade. Well, we know plant-based meat is all the rage these days, and now it's plant-based shoes. Reebok coming out with shoes said to be vegan-friendly. Anthony Acoli, TD Bank.
So Reebok, which is owned by Adidas, just recently unveiled their first plant-based running shoe called the Flow Ride Grow. Now, this shoe is made primarily from eucalyptus. The upper part, the soles are made from castor beans and natural rubber. And basically, this new shoe is expected to hit store shelves sometime in the fall of 2020. And they're trying to corner the market, the niche market, where a lot of young people who are focused on climate change and looking for more biodegradable products will hopefully, choose these types of shoes.
Right, investors had their running shoes on stock, ran higher today, Dow up 100 at a record 28,235. S&P up 22 points, the Nasdaq up 79. TSX up 53 points at 17,056. Canadian dollar at 75.94 cents US. This is 680 News.
The Mercedes-Benz Oakville certified pre-owned year-end winter sales event is on now. For a limited time, enjoy exceptional offers such as finance rates from 0.99%, 3 payments waived on us, and existing customers get an additional 1% loyalty rate reduction. Plus, receive a special bonus offer with purchase available only at Mercedes-Benz Oakville. Visit our showroom today at the QEW and Dorval Drive in Oakville and use these generous offers to gift yourself a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz this holiday season.
Myself.
If I told you there are as many as
Gift
2,000
myself.
homeless youth
Wow.
in our city each night, would you care?
What if I told you most of them have suffered from abuse and neglect? Then would you care? What if I told you many feel safer on the street than they do at home? Now do you care? What if I told you I really need your help?
How young do they need to be before you care? Donate $8 a month to Covenant House Toronto and provide homeless kids with a warm bed, hot meal, and a better future. Visit covenanthousetoronto.ca to donate. Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for New Life Fertility Center. Trying to get pregnant? Call New Life. New Life Fertility Center
Call
is
me.
Canada's leading and most affordable fertility center with 7 GTA
Jesus
locations.
Christ.
Call for a free consultation. NewLifeFertility.com.
Oh my God.
In Oakville, it is 0 and partly cloudy. -3 in Milton and partly cloudy. Up in Orangeville, -4, feeling like -7 with some clouds. Downtown Toronto, +1 and overcast, 0 at Pearson Airport. Michael Gibbons is our evening editor. Karen Seelin is at the digital editor's desk. 680 News Time, 10 o'clock.
Number one for breaking news, traffic,
I'm gonna
and
smoke that in
weather.
a second.
This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Scott Burnett and Caitlin Lee.
Good evening. This is Monday, December 16th.
Here's what's making news this hour. Talks between the province and the Public High School Teachers Union collapse. Neither side appears willing to budge. An 11-year-old girl has been seriously injured after being struck by a Toronto fire truck that was on its way to a fire in Midtown.
You'll need to slow down or pay the price. The first of around 50 approved photo radar signs on city streets has gone up in Etobicoke.
If you use a Presto card, you're going to be paying
All
more
that
on
happened
the
back then was
TTC
people
next
with
year.
money.
Cash fare is also increasing for seniors and
Went
children.
as fast as they wanted.
Cruise to a win over the
Because
Cavaliers.
the cops wouldn't pull them over. They just issue a ticket in the mail.
Sports, Taylor Hall, Sports at 15.
Canada's largest theater chain won't be Canadian much longer. Cineplex receiving a big takeover offer. We're looking at why it would accept it. TSX gains 53. Wall Street hits a record business at 26.
680 News Time, 10:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on ones at the traffic center. Hey, look, it's Craig Gear.
Hey, Scott, Caitlin, this is traffic time. It's brought to you by Viva Next. And we're looking at a bit of construction out there. Some of it is causing some issues, and we have some other problems too. So we've installed a vehicle on the eastbound 401 ramp to Westney. It's blocking the middle lane of this 3-lane ramp. Tows are on the scene. MTO is here as well. We'll let you know when it clears off, but it is causing a problem. And then eastbound 401 from the 412 over to approaching Brock Street, they've got a right lane, just a single right lane blocked right now for the construction. That's always in this spot. So a minor delay through here. If they close another lane, it will definitely back up. So we'll let you know. The southbound 412 ramp to the eastbound 401, they're also working in the right lane on this ramp. And then out east of Toronto Road, Port Hope area on the eastbound 401, you're just using the shoulder getting by here for a crash. It was a rollover, and it's really heavy getting by. You are moving, but we do have quite a delay. On the westbound 401, construction is slowing things down west of Nielsen in the collectors. It's 2 left lanes tonight. We have some other road work happening that's closed the keel ramps onto the westbound 401. But everything other than this bit as you go through on the west 401, just west of Nielsen in the collectors, is up to speed. Everything isn't too terrible right now. A few other things at 40 down QEW, they've got some moving maintenance happening tonight. It's a left lane. It'll be traveling from Plains to Woodward. It's not causing any problem though, so that's some good news. It's the season of giving in Richmond Hill and Newmarket, and your local shops and businesses can help you find what you're looking for. Shop, stop, and dine on Yonge Street, Richmond Hill, and Newmarket. Visit vivanext.com. Your next report is at 10:11, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramza. Hi.
Looking at a little bit of light snow for the morning commute, especially between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m. Trace to a centimeter or 2 possible, and best chance will be across the South GTA. Even higher amounts from Hamilton over to Niagara tomorrow morning. We'll wake up to -4. Afternoon temperature with drier conditions getting up to 1 degree. Tonight we're dropping to a low of -4 degrees.
680 News Time, 10:03.
Even with the mediator talks between the province and the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation not making progress, tomorrow's sit-down has been canceled.
680 Charlene Close reports both sides blaming the other for the collapse of negotiations. The union and the province are blaming each other for negotiations falling apart. Although the Wednesday walkout affecting 10 boards looks like a done deal, everything will be on hold for the holidays. OSSTF President Harvey Bishop has a message for MPPs.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe now that they've given themselves another couple of months away from the legislature, to go along with the 5 months they had previously, maybe they'll have time to step back and reevaluate their position.
Education Minister Stephen Lecce says the union came forward without any new proposals or changes to its position. Bishop says the government isn't budging. He says the union will have to consider what happens next in the new year. No new talks are scheduled. I'm Charlene Close.
A child in hospital tonight after being struck in Midtown by a fire truck heading to a call. Here's 680's Phil Martino with the latest from police.
Toronto Fire Chief Matthew Pegg confirms one of their trucks was on its way to a call on St. Clair Avenue West with lights and sirens sounding when it hit an 11-year-old girl in the intersection of Oakwood and Rosemount.
Paramedics attended, they assessed her, she was taken to hospital. We've been informed that she is in stable condition, so that's certainly, I'm really thankful for that. That's great news.
Toronto Police Constable David Hopkinson says they do not know how the collision happened.
We are continuing to investigate
Haig says Toronto Fire is fully cooperating. According to the fire chief, this is an uncommon circumstance for the Toronto Fire Service, but something it takes very seriously. I'm Phil Martino.
680 News Time, 10:05. Mayor John Tory has unveiled the city's first automated speed enforcement sign in an Etobicoke neighborhood. It's a
Man, those stupid signs that tell you how fast you're going don't
part of the
work.
provincial regulations, the sign must be up in the location 90 days before a ticket can be issued. Mayor John Tory says this is not about making money, it's about saving lives.
But the fact is, for the moment, we have a real problem on our hands with people going too fast in many places across the city, and people are being killed, and people are being seriously injured, and families traumatized. And so I just think we have an obligation to do everything we can, and this is part of that.
Last year, 40 pedestrians were killed on city streets. There will be 50 automated speed enforcement signs going up across the city, two in each ward.
It's real close to
680
one
News Time, 10:06. You'll likely be paying a little more to take the TTC come March. The TTC board officially passing its 2020 budget, and it includes a 10-cent fare increase for seniors and kids. Here's 680's Karen Seolan.
It'll be the 9th fare increase since 2009. While the adult cash fare won't change if you use a Presto card, fares will rise to $3.20 per ride, and monthly passes jumping by almost $5. You can thank the people who don't pay their fare for the reason you're paying more.
We actually just recently went out and did our own audit, and we're seeing some significant fare evasion in areas where I believe people can afford it. So we're going to be out there, people are going to be on these vehicles as if they're staples, and now we're going to change the culture. People who can pay should pay.
That's the TTC's
Instead of having a driver that collects fares, now you have a driver and a fucking private police officer and an automated machine to collect the fares. What the fuck?
Last year, the fare increase will bring in about $31 million. I'm Karen Seolan.
The Toronto Police Services
Plus all
Board
the
has
Presto
voted
things.
against
I'm not even
$40
talking
million
about the Presto
more
things,
for
man.
next year than the police got in this year's operating budget. 680's Mark Douglas has the numbers from today's meeting.
For 2020, the request is $1.076 billion.
And as usual, about 90% of the police operating budget is just for all the officers and the staff. And Chief Mark Saunders says the city needs to hire 341 more officers next year.
The addition of these new officers will help the service enhance community safety and allow us to build towards increasing proactive policing.
Most of the new officers will work in priority response units across the city. 8 will work in traffic on the Vision Zero enforcement teams. Mayor John Tory says with gun violence and other pressing issues, the taxpayers will understand.
The people who pay the bills, I think they're expecting right now that we're going to make an investment in the safety of the community.
At City Hall, I'm Mark Douglas.
The Ford government in hot water for its abrupt cancellation of Hamilton's LRT project. 680's Richard.
$968 million.
Promised the government on that funding, and the reason was because of ballooning costs for the project. The government said it will now cost $5.5 billion, although that's over the lifetime of the line. NDP leader Andrew Horwath, who's from Hamilton, happy with the decision.
It is a disgraceful day today. Mr. Ford has gone back on his word. He's not trustworthy, and he has betrayed Hamiltonians in the most callous of ways.
Supporters of the light rail project showed up to a news conference and was going to feature the transportation minister, Carolyn Mulroney, but they were so
I don't understand how that would help
the news
Hamilton. I
conference
really
was
don't.
canceled due to security concerns. Richard Sutter, 680 News.
Someone's going to have to explain to me how a streetcar system's going to
Sometimes you
fix
don't
Hamilton.
love
I
them,
don't
but either
understand
way,
that.
The Simpsons turns
They have
30
buses.
tomorrow.
It's not like they don't have
I used to
transit.
be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you.
The show aired its first full-length episode, Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, on December 17th, 1989. It is the longest-running American sitcom and the longest-running American scripted primetime TV
I don't know what it was called, but I thought it had something to do with that friggin' dog.
I've seen every episode the
Why it's
week it
called
came out,
Sanford.
that very first episode. I've been a diehard, and I still love them. I do
I
hate
just
them
admitted
sometimes,
that I
but
watched
I
it,
do
so
still
that-
love them.
I'm definitely a fan of the first, 10 seasons.
Oh, who is it? That's some quality television right there.
Quality.
Coming up in 30 seconds, a check on the price of the pumps.
680 News Time, 10:09.
1877 cars.
What the fuck is a priority response unit? I thought cops were priority response units. The fuck does that mean?
Donate your car today.
Donate
I don't give a fuck. It's not like I'm sitting here going, oh no, they're gonna come get me. I should know what the fuck they're talking about. And I fucking have enough interactions with these motherfuckers. What the fuck's a priority response here? What are the regular guys like? Those units or some shit? What the fuck?
Now the 680 news and gas price update. We can't stop talking about the Simpsons here, by the way. And Pro, they're predicting that the price won't change at midnight. It's going to hold steady at $1.16.9 a liter at most of GTA stations.
680 News Time 1010.
Everyone is talking about the hit
It won't go away. I don't know what it
Come
is.
From Away. It's a true story. Thousands of people stranded in a small town in Newfoundland on
I'm gonna read this stupid thing about the Rupert Hotel, and they're gonna fucking read it word for word. I just know it. So I'm gonna shut my mouth for 2 minutes.
What happened that week? The kindness, the
Why is there
the
this?
joy reminds us all what it is to be human. From Away, the perfect gift for the holidays. Get tickets at Mervish.com.
This is your office during a regularly scheduled meeting.
Here are the numbers for... Anyone awake? Hello?
This is your office with a meeting catered by Pumpernickel's.
Going into the next quarter, our numbers look great.
The team well starts with smart choices like catering from Pumpernickel's with artisanal sandwiches, creative salads,
Look at
gourmet
this, make it
desserts,
go
and
away.
much more. Let
I don't
Pumps
have to-
bring their restaurant to your office. Pumpernickel's Catering, where good food is plentiful. Visit pumpernickels.ca.
680 News Time
Go away.
1011.
Yeah.
Traffic and weather together on the ones at the traffic center. Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Marquee Jewelers. So for the most part, everything is not doing too terribly out there. We have quite a bit of construction. Just a couple
I
slow
looked that one up
spots
and it was
here on the
all
westbound
weirdo
401.
shit.
As you approach Markham Road in the collectors, that's where we're getting
Might not
slow
have been
through this
this,
construction
but I think it
zone.
was.
We do have some construction through Markham Road in the Express as well on the westbound 401, but it's not really causing any issues right now. Also some before this in the Express at Morningside, just slight delays. On the eastbound 401, just taking a look at the ramp to Westney, it doesn't appear, I can't really tell if we're clear here. It's not really going to cause you any problems. We had a stalled vehicle here and right in the middle lane of this 3-lane ramp off to Westney. I don't see any vehicles here attending to this scene. I'm just waiting for a green light to see if we are clear. Yeah, we are clear. Looks like the eastbound 401 ramp to Westney is all open and we're done with this problem. We have construction approaching Broad Street, the right lane, just a minor delay. We'll let you know if they add another lane here. Then out in the Port Hope area, eastbound 401 east of Toronto Road, it's completely blocked. You're using the shoulder to get by. This is because of a rollover, so you are moving, but it's slow. On the westbound 401, southbound Leslie and both of the Keel ramps onto the highway are closed for some overnight construction. We have the eastbound Finch ramp to the northbound 427 closed, the westbound Finch ramp to the southbound 427 closed. If you're already on the south 427, they've shut the collectors down from Queensway all the way down to the Gardner and Browns line, and obviously the Queensway ramps to the southbound 427 have been shut down as well. It's the perfect time for that special purchase at Marquee Jewelers. Great sales continue on engagement rings and wedding bands. Visit 2 Bloor Street West inside Cumberland Terrace now. Your next report is at 10:21, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
A system bypassing the Great Lakes to the south overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning could drop about trace to a centimeter or two of snow. Unfortunately, it's the timing that sucks. It'll be through that morning commute and then tapering off through the afternoon with a bit of sun and a high of 1 degree, even a couple more centimeters from Hamilton to Niagara. Wednesday is going to be a tricky cold front in the morning, dropping snow heavy at times, and then we'll get a break through the middle of the day, but lake effect snow on and off will take over through the afternoon with gusty northwest winds. Temperatures falling from -4 down to -10, wind chills by the afternoon near -20. Tonight we're down to a low of -4 degrees.
Minus
Right now
4,
in
but the
downtown
wind chill will be
Toronto,
minus
plus
20.
1 overcast
Don't
at 0
fucking
at
fuck around
Pearson.
with that.
680 News Time 1014.
December's monthly city council meeting begins tomorrow. Council is voting on the 2020 rate-supported budgets, including solid waste management, water and wastewater consumption, and the Toronto Parking Authority. The session beginning at 9:30 in council chamber.
Looking for a gift they won't re-gift?
Slouchy reading socks. Lavender sent it too. These will be perfect for someone else.
Then hurry into the Boxing Week sale at Sleep Country and stock up on great gifts like our famous wool pillow. Plus, hurry in store by Wednesday to get your free $50 bonus card with the purchase of $100 or more. Sleep Country, all for sleep. Limit 1 card per transaction. Card expires December 24th, 2019. Cannot be combined with buy one, get one free offers or gift card purchases. Valid in store or online. See either for full details.
The weather definitely does have a part to play. You know, we do see more deaths on the streets.
during the winter months. People trying to stay warm and not necessarily in the safest
People die of
situations.
dehydration and heat stroke and shit in the summer,
know
right?
that they're going to get help, through working with us.
There's hotter places and there's colder places, but we got both ends of that
On
shit
the
in
coldest
Toronto,
nights,
man.
Bradley Harris is there because everyone needs an army. Donate now at salvationarmy.ca or call 1-800-SAL-ARMY.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. Overcast, 1 degree, feeling like -1 degree. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Caitlin Lee. Here are the top stories this hour.
A mediator canceling talks scheduled for tomorrow between the province and its educators after both sides still refuse to budge from their current positions. That means Wednesday's one-day walk-off by public high school teachers at 10 Ontario school boards should be going ahead as planned. An 11-year-old girl in hospital with serious injuries but in stable condition after being hit by a fire truck at Oakwood and Rosemount just south of St. Clair around 3 o'clock. 5 pedestrians hit since 1 this afternoon, 3 of them with serious injuries. And photo radar on its way to Toronto, the first of about
40
50
people killed
automated speed enforcement signs
cars. How
going
many
up in
people got
Etobicoke
shot?
earlier today. Once they go up, you'll have 90 days until they start doling out tickets. Time for 680 Sports.
I'm supposed to know that, but I
Sports
don't.
at 5:09. Let's check in with Rob Long. Rob.
Well, Scott, the Raptors improved to 18-8 with an easy 133-113 win over Cleveland. Osmond couldn't grab the rebound, yanked down by OG, kicks ahead to Pascal. Siakam throwing up and throwing down. My goodness! Norm Powell just came down from the ceiling. Eric Smith with a call on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Norm Powell with a big performance, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. As Pascal Siakam led the way with 33 points. Kyle Lowry added a double-double with 20 points and 11 assists. The Arizona Coyotes, the team to pick up Taylor Hall from the New Jersey Devils. The Coyotes sending 2 draft picks and 3 prospects to the Devils. Hall is expected to make his Coyotes debut tomorrow night. Tyson Barrie practiced in full today with the Maple Leafs after leaving last Saturday's game against Edmonton with an ankle injury. Timothy Liljegren and Mark Marincin were called up today on an emergency basis. Toronto home to the Buffalo Sabres tomorrow. In the NFL tonight, history has been made. Drew Brees passing Peyton Manning for the all-time TD record for passing and touchdowns. As right now it is all Saints in the NFL's Monday Nighter. They lead the Colts 27-0 late in the third quarter. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 10:17.
We wish you a healthy Christmas. We wish you a healthy Christmas. We wish you a healthy Christmas and a smoke-free New Year. Don't let smoking stop you from achieving your New Year's goals. Use Nicoderm and Nicorette
I
combination
intend to not run out of
therapy to conquer
cigarettes.
your
That's my goal.
cravings. Nicoderm provides 24-hour withdrawal support, while Nicorette provides fast relief of breakthrough cravings. So now, nothing else will mingle with your holiday jingle. Available at Shoppers Drug Mart. To be sure these products are right for you, always read and follow the label.
Hi, officer. What can I do for you tonight?
Hello, sir. We're running a ride spot check.
Don't worry about me. I haven't been drinking.
Well, we're also checking for impairment by drugs.
So you could say you're running a pot check? Drug-impaired drivers face the same penalties as drunk drivers. Fines, education programs.
And they can come in your house 2 hours after you park your car. If they think you're drinking, if you're legally drunk at that point, they can charge you for DUI in this
The Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police.
after you already drove home. Car parked in the garage. Oh, we think you were driving.
737
You're
MAX
drunk
jets.
now.
And next month, yet again, the planes
You think I'm
involved
joking,
in
just
2 separate
exaggerating.
crashes
Look
that
up the
killed
law.
346 people, 18 Canadians dying in a crash in Ethiopia. A statement says, quote, safely returning the 737 MAX to service is our top priority. 2 men facing a second trial on a plot to derail a Via Rail train.
No, fuck them.
Traveling between Toronto and New York have elected
Keep
to be
them locked
tried
the
by
fuck up.
judge
I don't give a
only.
fuck if you
If the
think I'm
trial proceeds
fucking
next September,
police.
scheduled,
Well,
the
think whatever
Ontario
you
Court of
want.
Appeal
Keep these
ordering a new
motherfuckers
trial for the
locked
men
up.
after overturning their 2015 convictions on terror-related charges connected to the plot. Now, the Crown has asked the Supreme Court for leave to appeal the ruling, saying there's been an error in jury selection. But the judge says he's proceeding with the case, assuming the Supreme Court chooses not to hear their appeal. United Airlines has been slapped with a $10,000 fine for breaking Canada's passenger protection rules. It's one of 4 airlines being penalized just as new regulations come into effect. Air Transat, United, Air France, and Delta also issued fines on November 25th for breaking existing regulations. United is facing the biggest one for 4 separate offenses. The agency found it failed to display required information about passenger rights at the boarding gates and self-serve check-in machines in Calgary and Halifax. The new passenger protection rules came into effect yesterday. The latest update focusing on compensation for passengers whose flights are delayed or canceled. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll check traffic and your extended forecast at 680 News Time 1020.
At Rogers, get business-grade internet solutions like Rogers Business Internet Pro Gigabit plus Office 365. Now just $119.99 a month on a 3-year term. Visit rogers.com/internet for biz.
You can make more.
Hello, Alpine Credits.
You're the guys that say approved, right?
Yes, sir.
I want to lose weight, so I told my buddies I'm going to switch from beer to white wine, and they did not approve. You will?
We only approve homeowners for loans, for renovations, consolidating debt, that type of thing.
Perchance rosé.
Oh, listen to your buddies, my friend.
At Alpine Credits, we try to approve all home equity loan applications, regardless of your credit, age, or income. Find out more at alpinecredits.ca. Alpine Credits. Homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616.
At Rogers, get business-grade internet solutions like Rogers Business Internet Pro Gigabit plus Office 365. Now just $119.99 a month on a 3-year term. Visit rogers.com/internet for biz.
You can make more.
News Time 1021.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. First up, the traffic center, Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by the 407 ETR. So on the westbound 401, as you approach the construction at Broad Street, they've taken the 2 left lanes now. So it's 2 left lanes through here. You just have a single right lane getting by. We'll let you know once we start seeing some delays, but so far so good going through the construction approaching Broad Street on the westbound 401. We have a bunch of lanes restricted on the west 401 through Meadowvale, and then again west of Nielsen in the collectors. It's very heavy. 2 left lanes are blocked off here. It's really jamming up as you approach Markham Road as this construction begins just west of Nielsen. The Express is moving better, but we do have the right lane blocked through Markham Road in the Express. And then approaching McCowan, we have some construction in both the Express and collectors, but just slight delays. And then you're going to find west of Brimley, the transfer here into the collectors is closed on the westbound 401, and the southbound Leslie and both of the keel ramps, north and southbound keel ramps to the west 401 are shut down. We have approaching Brock Street on the eastbound 401. So far, just a single right lane is closed for construction, and we're just seeing a minor delay. Northbound 400 is heavy from north of Teston up to past the King en route. We have the right lane blocked here for construction, so you can expect some delays going through this zone. The eastbound Finch ramp to the northbound 427 is closed. The westbound Finch ramp to the southbound 427 is shut down, and the collectors have been closed on the south 427 at the Queensway right down to the bottom. So the Queensway ramps to the south 427 are also blocked. 407 ETR traffic experts study driving patterns all year round to ensure a smooth ride. 365 days a year. Visit 407etr.com. Your next report is at 10:31, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
-4 degrees overnight tonight. Watch for some light snow early tomorrow morning. It's only about trace to a centimeter or two with those higher amounts hugging the lakeshore. So the further north you go, less chance of that precipitation, but also about 2 to 4 centimeters for Hamilton over to Niagara. This is all through the morning commute. The afternoon will be drier, a high of 1 degree. Wednesday morning's commute, though, bringing in some snow heavy at times as this cold front comes through. This is the infamous cold front you've been hearing about, bringing in the coldest air of the season so far. We'll also have lake effect snow to deal with through Wednesday afternoon with gusty northwest winds. Temperatures falling from -4 down to -10, wind chill -20 by Wednesday afternoon, and Thursday morning's wind chill still -22. It'll be mainly cloudy with a chance for some late day flurries and much below seasonal with a high of -7. Tonight we're down to a low of -4 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, +1 and cloudy. It's 0 at Pearson Airport.
680 News Time 10:24.
-20 in the wind chill. Fuck you. I'm not going
Holiday
nowhere.
feast is on now at Mandarin. We've added traditional favorites to our all-you-can-eat buffet for a limited time while supplies last. Choose from featured dishes like roast turkey with all the fixings, spicy firecracker shrimp, pesto chicken pasta, ribeye steak, and a tasty array of holiday desserts. And if you're celebrating at home or in the office, try Mandarin party menus for takeout and delivery. So ring in your reservation today and may all your meals be merry.
When news breaks, the 680 News Cruiser is there, covering the story live from the scene.
24/7 in your community.
The 680 News Cruiser.
Powered by Don Valley North Toyota.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
In 60 seconds, guess what? We've got all Christmas news on the 25.
Devastating wildfires in Fort McMurray. Extreme flooding in Ottawa. An empty kitchen table at Christmas. We'll be there because everyone needs an army. Donate this holiday season at salvationarmy.ca.
Poinsettia.
Newer Central, Salvation Army, 789 Dover Court, December 25th, 11 to 3. There's a
in their
Christmas
own
party.
way. And how we design them at Etel Florist will help you say, I'm thinking of you in your own way. I'm Esther Morrow.
And I'm Italo Paris. All through the season, nothing brightens the holidays like flowers. And they're so easy to give.
Delivered across town or overseas.
You just find
they'll
them
be
growing in front of
fresh
people's
and
houses all the
beautiful.
time,
Our
man.
family promises.
Our family promises. ItelFlorist.com.
Christmas news on the 25 is brought to you by the Illusionists, Magic of the Holidays. She's on top once again. Mariah Carey's classic.
Those two concepts together are going to fuck with little
Number
kids'
one on the
heads.
Billboard Hot 100 singles chart for the first time. The 25-year-old tune's previous peak was number 3, which was a hit last year. And it's only the second holiday song to ever top the chart. Last time was 1958-59. When the Chipmunk song hit number 1, and it stayed there for 4 weeks. All I Want for Christmas Is You is Carey's 19th number 1, extending her record as the solo artist with the most chart toppers. Jason Nathanson, ABC News.
Christmas news at 25 minutes past every hour on 680 News.
1026.
Well, that means it's time for the business report, so let's check in with our own Richard Sutton.
Good evening, Canada's largest movie theater chain probably won't be Canadian for much longer. Cineplex has agreed to a $2.8 billion takeover deal from UK-based Cineworld. It comes as attendance at theaters is falling quickly. David Baskin, Baskin Wealth Management.
How many movie producers are left? It's pretty much Disney. Nobody. So the movie theaters themselves need to consolidate to protect themselves and to keep their pricing power. And so the company that's acquiring it is Cineworld, who they acquired, I believe, Regal Cinemas in the U.S. And so now they're going to be the biggest movie theater company in the world, and they'll be able to properly negotiate with Disney because everybody's scared about Disney. They got the best movies. You see today they just passed over $1 billion of ticket sales for Frozen worldwide. And, with the slate of movies they have coming out over the next few years, is Disney and everybody else, and there's nobody else.
Cineplex stock jumping 41.4% today to $33.95. This offer representing a 42% premium over Cineplex's closing price on your Friday. Cineworld also taking on debt. TSX had a happy ending today, was up 53 points to 17,056. Wall Street notched to record highs. The Dow was up 100 points, all-time high at 28,235. S&P gained 22, and the Nasdaq up 79 points. Hudson's Bay stock fell down 2.4% to $8.66. A shareholder vote set for tomorrow when a takeover offer has been postponed. Price for gold, little change, $1,480 the ounce. Canadian dollar was up 5/100ths of a cent to 76 cents US on the nose. Top stories and traffic and weather just 60 seconds away on 680 News.
You'll always be the first to know.
Breaking news when it happens.
680 News.
The Maserati of Oakville and Ontario Grand Finale event is on now. For a limited time, take advantage of incredible offers on new 2019 models, including a 0% finance rate and a 1.95% lease rate on the Maserati Ghibli SQ4. Plus, as an added bonus, take advantage of up to $25,000 savings on select 2018 in-stock before it's too late. Choose the road less ordinary by visiting Maserati of Oakville or Maserati of Ontario today. On approved credit, offer expires December 31st. See dealer for details.
There are lots of ways to treat your cold symptoms. You can carry around a spoon and syrup, or try alternative methods. How about those lozenges? Why not drop all that for a different way? Cold drops, just one drop with a naturally sourced ingredient for temporary symptom relief of cough, sore throat, and nasal congestion.
Relief with just one drop. Cold drops.
For a retailer near you, visit colddrops.com. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
Being right matters.
So if our weather dropped by more than 3 degrees,
You could win cash.
details at 680news.com.
Taking the business trip. Vancouver tomorrow, overcast, +7 for the high. Edmonton, overcast and 3 degrees. Winnipeg, clear, -24.
How much is a freaking plane ticket? I can't take the
-4.
bus.
South of the border, Las Vegas,
No
good luck,
bus.
mostly cloudy, just 3
Motherfucker.
degrees for the high there. Chicago, partly cloudy, -3. Washington, D.C., mostly cloudy, and 4. This is CFTR 680 News at 10:30.
#1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Scott Burnett and Caitlin Lee.
Good evening. It's Monday, December 16th.
Here's what's making news right now.
Talks between the Ford government and the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation fall apart. Neither side is willing to give in. Victims of the Danforth shooting launch a class action lawsuit against the manufacturer of the handgun used to kill 2 people and injure 13 others.
You heard it here
An 11-year-old
first.
girl has serious injuries after being struck by a fire truck that was on its way to a call in the Oakwood and St. Clair area.
But they're not going to sue the
Pay
city.
their TTC fare for the reason you're going to be paying more.
If the cheaters weren't cheating, there would be no fare increase.
A 10-cent hike is coming to most fares next year.
Pascal Siakam scores 33 points as the Raptors beat the Cavaliers, while the Arizona Coyotes are the ones to land Taylor Hall in a trade with the Devils. Sports at 45.
Self-driving cars are coming, but how are they going to deal with certain ethical questions and
This is why
situations?
I have to document this shit. No one's going to fucking
program. We got the
listen to me
details. TFX of 53 and Wall Street at a record. Business at 56.
680 News Time, 10:31.
Time for traffic and weather. Together on the ones, here is Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Rogers Wireless. So a few extra slowdowns out there now that are starting to pop up, all because of the construction on the westbound 401 west of Fixin. They've closed the 2 left lanes, so it bunches up just west of Fixin here because of this. And then west of Nielsen in the collectors, it's 2 left lanes again. It's very slow through here. But another area is really jamming things up on the westbound 401. There seems to be a lot of construction popping up in this area nightly now. So anywhere from west of McCowan all the way over to approaching Kennedy in the collectors, you don't want to be in here. It's very, very slow.
Fuck, I
So
guess I
it's
don't know what
basically
type of
slow
gun it
from
was.
west of Nielsen in the
Some
collectors
semi-auto thing.
all the way until you get west of Markham Road, and then you get a little tiny break, and then it
Pretty
really
sure.
jams up again west of McCowan. So if you can, just take the express
I'm about to find
all the
out.
way from Nielsen all the way because it's going to be much better drive. And once you get up to the 404 DVP, they've actually closed the collector ramp onto the DVP from the westbound 401 as well. So definitely express is where you want to be if you're traveling westbound tonight, if you can do that. On the eastbound 401 approaching Brock Street, just a minor delay through this construction. They've just got the right lane closed off, just off the phone with the traffic spotter out in Port Hope area, east of Toronto Road. We had all lanes blocked here for a rollover. Police and everyone on the scene here, but you just have a single left lane getting by now, so that's
What
better
rolled
than
over? We
shoulder.
want to know.
But it's a good 15 minutes to get through this delay. Northbound 400, construction approaching the King Alt lane blocked off. You can see on and off delays from north of Teston. We have some ramps are closed. Eastbound Finch ramp to the northbound 427 shut down. Westbound Finch ramp to the southbound 427. Right now, visit Rogers for exclusive in-store offers and a chance to win one of 9 Samsung content dance December 18th. Is at 10:41 with the forecast.
Waking up to -4 degrees, also a little bit of light snow, so leave a little extra time. It's not a whole lot of snow, but trace to 2 centimeters is enough to slow things down through that morning commute. We'll get into some sun late in the afternoon with a high near 1 degree. Tonight, we're dropping to a low of -4.
Right now in downtown Toronto, overcast, 1 degree. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport. 680 News Time, 10:33.
An absolute refusal to budge from both sides. Talks remain at a standstill between the
Smith
province and
and
the
Wesson,
union representing Ontario high
$150
school
million.
teachers. And 680's Charlene Close reports talks scheduled for tomorrow have since been canceled. OSSTF President Harvey Bimmy, things did not go well today.
On that basis and on the advice of the mediator, tomorrow's our kids.
He says the government came to the table without a single new position.
Despite their claim, repeated claim that somehow compensation is this, the sticking point, compensation wasn't even discussed today, so it could not have been the obstacle.
A one-day walkout affecting 10 boards, including both in York and the public board in Halton, will go ahead Wednesday. Bischoff says his team will have to reevaluate. At this point, no full-blown strike is planned. Education Minister Stephen Lecce says he's frustrated and disappointed that the union is refusing to budge. I'm Charlene Close.
680 News Time, 10:34. Victims of the Danforth shooting have launched a class action lawsuit against Smith & Wesson. That's the manufacturer of the handgun that was used by a man to kill 2 people and injure 13 others in Greektown in July of last year. The CBC reports the lawsuit was filed today. The group seeking $50 million in general damages, $1 million in punitive damages. The lawsuit claims the gun manufacturer failed to incorporate technology into that weapon, a safety measure that prevents unauthorized users from firing it. 18-year-old Reese Allen and 10-year-old Juliana Kozes were killed in that shooting.
680 News Time, 10:35.
It's still in. This is Canada.
A child is seriously hurt
I
after
don't
she was
think they
struck by a
make guns
fire
in
truck
Canada,
this
so I don't
afternoon.
see.
It happened in the Oakwood and St. Clair area. Here's 680's Phil Martino.
Toronto Police Constable David Hopkinson says the child was hit by a fire truck near Oakwood and Rosemount south of St. Clair just before 3:30 p.m.
I don't know how the collision occurred. I don't know the mechanism of what happened.
Toronto Fire Chief Matthew Penn confirms crews were responding to a fire on St. Clair Avenue West with lights and sirens sounding.
Immediately, of course, our crews stopped the truck, got out, and provided care to that girl.
Paramedics say her condition has been stabilized. The fire chief says he's grateful for that. An investigation is underway by Toronto Police. According to the fire chief, once that's complete, we'll have a better understanding of exactly what happened. I'm Phil Martino.
A man in his 70s in hospital with life-threatening injuries after a multi-vehicle crash in Etobicoke. This happened around 4 in the afternoon near Dundas and Royal York. Up to 4 vehicles involved. One of those vehicles flipping over onto its side, trapping a man inside. Emergency crews removed the roof of the vehicle to get him out.
Coming soon to 50 locations across Toronto, automated speed enforcement signs as the city gets ready for photo radar. The first sign was unveiled today in Etobicoke. Mayor John Tory says by the spring, drivers speeding in those areas will have to pay up when a ticket comes in the mail.
Beginning with 90 days from today, we will be issuing tickets. I think even the signs will cause people to slow down, and I'm proud of the fact that it's going to save lives in our city.
Tory says this is not about money, but saving lives. The provincial regulations require the city to post a sign 90 days before the photo radar cameras can issue tickets.
$199 off the rebate.
Coming to most TTC payers next year. The increase proposed in next year's TTC budget, okayed by the board today. 680's Karen Siolen with the details.
You're going to be paying more thanks to those who don't pay up, says Councillor Denzel Minin Wong.
We're hemorrhaging tens of millions of dollars. Conservative estimate $60 million a year in fare evasion. If we had that $60 million in revenue, if the cheaters were cheating, there would be no fare increase.
As a result, adult Presto card fares will increase from $3.10 to $3.20, and cash fares for children and seniors will also rise a dime. Tokens and monthly passes also going to cost you more, but adult cash fares staying the same at $3.25. The increases come into effect in March. The proposed budget also includes hiring dozens of more inspectors to crack down on fare evasion. The TTC's budget still needs final approval from City Council. I'm Karen Siolen.
Toronto police are one step closer to getting $40 million more next year.
$1,076 million. That amount got thumbs up for the 2020 police operating budget. The bulk of the new money will pay for hiring 341 new officers. Police Chief Mark Saunders.
The service will continue to focus on intelligence-led policing and deployment to ensure we are where the public needs us the most.
Police CAO Tony Veneziano points out how more people in Toronto means more work for their officers.
6.7% increase in gun calls, a 16% increase in shooting
With
incidents.
urgent numbers like that, Mayor John Tory says the taxpayers will understand this is a time to invest in safety.
They've said we have to invest more in neighborhoods and kids and families, and they're right. But I haven't heard too many saying we should be investing much less.
At City Hall, I'm Mark Douglas.
Hey, you want to feel old? The Simpsons celebrating the show's 30th anniversary tomorrow.
I've been wearing the same red dress
Talking about
forever.
community centers and programs and
Lisa
shit for
and
kids.
Maggie first appearing in a series of animated shorts on the Tracy Ullman Show back in 1987. The show aired its first full-length episode December 17th, 1989. Since then, 672 episodes have been broadcast. That is a lot of television.
Military
I'm going to go
police.
watch them all right now.
Oh, no.
Side of it.
Hope you can.
Pretty.
I don't know. 2 years?
A couple of years.
Yeah, 2 years. It'll be like that.
680 News Time, 10:39.
Celebrate the holiday magic this December at Casa Loma during a Nutcracker Christmas at the Castle. Enjoy a host of
They're
exciting
not on a
family
60-minute
activities and
news cycle,
performances,
eh? They're on a 2
including
hour
Illusionist
cycle.
Professor Wick, Glees on Ice, plus visit Santa's workshop for your photo with Santa and more. The castle will be dazzling with festive decor and a 40-foot signature tree. And from December 16th to 30th, you can also explore Casa Loma by night as you wander through the lighting display in the gardens. Info and tickets at casaloma.ca.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will not change at midnight. It will hold at $1.16.9 a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather in 60 seconds.
680 News Time, 10:40.
Don't you ever get tired of getting your own way?
Let me think. No.
You wanted to go to Maple Auto Mall, and here we are at Maple Auto Mall.
Well, thank you.
You wanted this make, this model, and you got it.
Well, 9 dealerships together. I knew we wouldn't have to look too hard.
They just keep saying yes,
How'd
no
you
matter
get
what you
sick,
want.
Maple Auto Mall is my kind of mall.
Personally, I think this sets a better.
Happy holidays from the Maple Auto Mall.
Keep on rocking at Casino Rema Resort with these great shows. Rocking the new year with Colin James on December 31st. Honeymoon Suite and Prism perform on February 28th. Chilliwack and Streetheart on March 13th. Melissa Etheridge, the Medicine Show Tour is coming on April 17th. Local legend Gordon Lightfoot returns on April 18th. And don't miss Ringo Starr and his All-Star Band May 29th and 30th. Buy tickets now at Ticketmaster and check out full concert listings at CasinoRama.com.
680 News Time, 10:41.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here is Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Best Buy. It's not a best drive on the westbound 401. It's all because of construction right now. So you get a bit of a break in between these two zones, but it's really, really bad. So I'm just going to suggest, if you can, stick inside of the express lanes. So westbound 401 west of Nielsen, it jams up through this construction in the collectors. Just west of Markham Road, you get a little bit of a break. But then just west of McCowan, it really jams up in the collectors again, all the way over to west of Kennedy now. So it's a very, very slow drive. And then once you make it to the DVP on the westbound 401, that collector ramp onto the DVP from the westbound 401 has been shut down for maintenance. Before all this, in the Durham area, we have construction at Thixon on the westbound 401, just a single left lane, or a single lane getting by, I should say, through here. It's a single right lane, and it's really jamming up through this zone as well. We have the southbound Leslie and both the north and south keel ramps onto the westbound 401 shut down. Eastbound 401, construction approaching Brock Street. They're in the right lane, but I'm not seeing any delays through here, so that's really good news. The biggest problem is out in our Port Hope area. East of Toronto Road, it's just a single left lane getting over here after a crash. They're investigating it. It's really heavy and backed up. Traffic spotters saying they haven't even removed any of the vehicles that were part of this crash as they're investigating it. So it's going to be quite a while. Northbound 400, on and off delays from north of Teston up to approaching the King en route. Crews have the right lane blocked, so you can expect to slow down through this stretch. We have the West Mall Evans Avenue ramp to the westbound QEW closed for maintenance. Eastbound Finch ramp to the north 427, that's shut down. Westbound Finch ramp to the southbound 427 closed for maintenance. And both the east and west Queensway ramps to the southbound 427 closed as well. Get hot savings on last-minute Christmas gifts at Best Buy. Get a Samsung A8 tablet for $149.99 at Best Buy. Your next report is at 10 past. Here's Natasha Ramzahai.
A system bypassing the Great Lakes to the south overnight tonight into tomorrow morning could drop about trace to a centimeter or two of snow. Unfortunately, it's the timing that sucks. It'll be through that morning commute and then tapering off through the afternoon with a bit of sun and a high of 1 degree, even a couple more centimeters from Hamilton to Niagara. Wednesday is going to be a tricky cold front in the morning, dropping snow heavy at times. And then we'll get a break through the middle of the day, but lake effect snow on and off will take over through west winds. Temperatures falling from -4 down to -10. Wind chills by the afternoon near -20. Tonight we're down to a low of -4 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now overcast 1 degree. At Pearson overcast and -2. 680 news time 10:44.
Rexall can help with holiday gifts.
Spend $50, get 100 bonus air miles.
Yeah, Dad, it's Beauty Thursday.
Every opportunity.
Get that perfume from all.
These people take every opportunity to try to get money out of you. I swear to fucking God. That's why I read this shit for. At least I'm prepared. This ain't gonna fucking fuck my head up when I hit this part of the article. 10 people died. This is why we need a tax for the building fund. I swear to God. So the Rupert Hotel is gone now. Burned down December 23rd, 1989. 10 people died inside. "30 years after fatal fire, many rooming houses in cities still operate without scrutiny." And there's been, they've found houses that have been randomly cut up into 20 rooms with no proper fucking licensing or construction permit, nothing. It's plywood and 2x4s. It was 2 days before Christmas, and dusk was settling across the remains of a miserable freezing day when Toronto firefighters got the call that the Rupert Hotel rooming house was on fire. There were flames at the back of the building when we arrived. It was a horrible situation. There were people on top of the bus shelter. There were people on the fire escape, said Captain Jack, describing what he witnessed at the December 23rd, 1989 blaze that gutted the Parliament and Queen Street's property, home to many low-income residents, and resulted in the deaths of 10 people. It was on the second floor and was blowing out the windows. It was a big fire at that point. Toronto is full of these fucking fire traps, except for the ones that have burned down. 30 years after that fire tore through the 3-story building, rooming houses, officially called multi-tenant buildings, well, they were officially called rooming houses for the licensing. What do I know? Remain one of the last truly affordable housing options across Toronto, although zoning rules mean they are not officially allowed in some areas of the city, so many operate without scrutiny. The Rupert Hotel at 182 Parliament Street was licensed by the city and subject to safety inspections, but a formal inquest into the fire determined that on that night, quote, the fire alarm was dismantled, and quote, the building had a history of, I don't know how you have 6 pages instead of 8. The fuck? The building had a history of non-compliance with regards to the fire code, including access to emergency exits and proper fire separation. The fire department only found out the building was burning because a crew on road fire called it in. That's fucked up. I don't know if all these details are true. Like every year, there's a little bit that comes out. I don't remember it because I was little, right? Why would you tell a little kid that story right before Christmas? You wouldn't tell them, right? "We knew this was trouble," Cooper said. "They knew it was packed, and anybody caught off guard because of drinking or any other reason didn't have a chance," he said. I don't think I was in Toronto at that, man. "We did everything we possibly could, and 10 people died." A report from the Office of the Chief Coroner dated April 8th, 1991 found the fire was set deliberately. Somebody put a cigarette lighter to newspaper on the second floor. It was a, quote, lack of fire separations, lack of closures on doors, and combustible materials which fueled the fire, causing it to spread rapidly, end quote, throughout the 126-year-old building, which had 31 rooms spread over the top 2 floors with retail below. 6, oh, fuck. 1863. And if it hadn't burned down, it'd still be standing. Like, it would still be, like, they don't want to fucking fix this shit in this city, man. Gordon Howard Freeman would later plead guilty to manslaughter and was sentenced to 10 years in jail, the Star reported in 1991. Freeman was intoxicated and had lit the papers on fire, court heard, after a friend told him to clean up trash. How do you get 10 years for killing 10 people, man? That is fucked up. That's Canada, too. Fuck. You get 10 years for stealing something, you get 10 years for killing 10 people. That is fucked up. A photo from the night of the fire shows Cooper as a shadow outlined in smoke on a balcony on the 3rd floor. A plan to go in through a window was thwarted when he was physically pulled back by his captain, who had control of the hose and reckoned he'd never come out. 7 residents died on the 3rd floor and 3 on the 2nd. Half of the dead were in their rooms. Cooper said firefighter Ross McCannell got a man down from the 3rd floor. "Quote unquote, lucky number 11 was the only rescue of the night," he said, "or the only person who survived who didn't get out on their own." At the time of the inquest, the jury heard there were as many as 14,000 rooming house tenants across Toronto. So multiply that by a certain amount of dollars, multiplied by like how dense it is, how many of them you have in each house. We're talking shitloads of money. The captain who pulled Cooper back on that roof was Jim Jessup. His son, Deputy Chief Jim Jessup, said that night changed enforcement tactics across Toronto. "When we walk into buildings, especially multi-tenants buildings that don't comply with the fire code, we take a zero-tolerance policy." Bullshit, Jessup said. "We will move people out. We will close the building. We will issue an immediate threat to life notice, order the owner to close the building. We will charge the owner." If you say so. The Rupert Hotel fire also resulted in amendments to the fire code, Jessup said, boosting protections province-wide. But you only have to be up. Fuck it. Today in Toronto and Etobicoke, multi-tenant houses can operate with a license. As of early September, Toronto alone had 308 on record as licensed or in the process of applying for a license, according to the city's website. Toronto Fire inspects each property before it is licensed, Jessup said, and will come back at the request of licensing staff at the time of renewal, which can be 1 or 2 years. With unlicensed properties, of which there are many, Toronto Fire may only come to know they exist through a complaint or after a fire. No shit. Rooming houses are permitted in York Region, but a license is not required. Scarborough, East York, and North York consider rooming houses illegal, which effectively, according to one city councillor, exposes marginalized people to danger. That's the places where they find these houses that are just cut up into rooms randomly. Quote, "We have to stop having discriminatory zoning that says people can only live in certain parts of the city," said Councillor Gord Perks, Ward 4, Parkdale High Park. You're the fucking... I wasn't paying attention. I thought it was some lady with pit bulls. Speaking with the Star on Wednesday. "They still get built. It's just the people who live in them understand if they complain, they could lose their housing. That is why people die in fires." And they've had some properties that are kind of crazy in Parkdale, too. Toronto is moving toward adopting a new 10-year housing plan, and this is where the tax thing comes in. A draft of which was debated at the city's Planning and Housing Committee on Tuesday and is expected to be discussed by City Council next week. The housing plan under future actions states work is, quote, "underway to improve the licensing and regulation of multi-tenant houses and establish citywide zoning permissions for multi-tenant homes. And municipal licensing and standard staff are expected to report back on this work at the January meeting of the Planning and Housing Committee." Perks has expressed serious concerns both to the mayor's office and the Star that expanded zoning is still at the discussion stage. Quote, "We need this form of licensed, safe, and affordable housing, and we need it now," he said. I don't think so. I don't think rooming houses are the solution. I think you should bulldoze all of them and replace them with something made of concrete. Concrete and steel, buddy. Councillor Anna Bailao, Ward 9, I think that's right here, who serves as the city's affordable housing advocate, said expanding rules, quote, "is the goal," end quote, "to ensure the appropriate safety nets for people in multi-tenant housing. We need a system to deal with the many rooming houses that are all over the city," Bailao said. Oh, I can say it if I don't think about it, right? Former Mayor Barbara Hall, a ward councillor at the time of the Rupert Hotel fires, said while the quote-unquote horror of that night resulted in tougher enforcement for rooming houses, those protections must be citywide. Quote, "I still remember all the water from the hoses frozen on the wires and just knowing how people were trapped and really had no way out," said Hall, who was on scene while the fire burned. Which kind of tells you how long it takes for fucking old wooden buildings to burn down compared to newer wooden buildings. with all the plastic furniture inside and plastic carpeting and plastic clothes. And it's instead of 20 minutes, it's 2 minutes for the time for a house to burn down, a regular house. This is not a regular house. Those people didn't have a choice about where they lived, Hall said, and it is the same situation for many today. Quote, many more people are unable to find decent, affordable, safe housing, and the situation for them, I think, is even more desperate than it was 30 years ago, Hall said. I was going to get to that. On Thursday, Hall was among a small, blah, 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 blah. Somehow I never catch this. It says I never get to it. On Thursday, Hall was among a small and steadfast group of activists who gathered at Queen and Parliament Streets as they do every year close to the date for an event that included live music, speeches, the reading of names, and a moment of silence for the dead. And I'm skipping that part with you read it. With the 30-year anniversary approaching, Hall said the memory of that night remains alive in her mind, and it is vitally important that the terrible lessons learned and the 10 people who died are not forgotten. Oh, this is... They had, quote, they had family and friends who they loved, isn't it, whom they loved, whatever, who they loved and were loved by, and their life was snatched away. She said, memories can be short, and it is important that we take people back to that night forever. Yeah, I think you need to do something about these buildings today. I think your timing is great. I haven't seen those before, right? I don't think. I haven't seen such a detailed article about this until this 10-year housing plan, which... They're talking about this building fund, which needs a property tax rate increase. And the mayor supposedly is anti-tax increases. He's been in 5 years. It's a 4-year term. He's got 3 left. And he's making a decision that goes 7 years beyond that. And he knows he's not getting in a 3rd time. That's like, doesn't happen. I don't remember if there's term limits, but you're not getting 3 terms. How not to hit a pedestrian? No, I'm not reading that. What to do in hit and run events? Seriously? It doesn't tell me what to do in the event of a hit and run in the first fucking section of it. So I'm not trying.
Driving cars, they're coming. Tesla vehicles on the road right now can already drive themselves under certain situations. And experts say on a whole, autonomous vehicles will be much safer. However, there's been a great debate about how they
program to recognize jaywalkers
situations. For example, an autonomous vehicle will having to choose between, say, crashing full speed into a guardrail, perhaps killing the occupants of the car, or striking pedestrians while keeping the passengers safe. What would it pick? Now, Mercedes-Benz has come out and said that its self-driving cars will be programmed to choose passenger lives. Company CEO says that doesn't mean Mercedes robotic cars will neglect the safety of bystanders, but that in a situation when it's one or the other, cars will pick the safety of those inside. CEO says crashes are so chaotic that the AI should prioritize the lives it has the most direct control of. All right, meantime, Boeing is temporarily stopping production of its 737 MAX jets. It's going to do so in January. The company has been making 40 planes a month. Even the planes have been grounded since March amid 2 deadly crashes. It's created a backlog of some 400 jets that airlines can't fly. Boeing stock was lower in the after-hours trading session today. Didn't hurt the Dow, Eddie. It was up 100 points at an all-time closing high, 28,235. S&P up 22 points, 3191, a record. NASDAQ up 79. We had on Wall Street shares of United Health jumping more than 2%. Pfizer as well, adding more than 2% today. Traders very optimistic now when it comes to the U.S.-China trade situation. TSX up 53 points, 17,056. Cineplex stock jumping a whopping 41% as it receives a takeover offer. Gold at $1,479, and the Canadian dollar up to 76 cents U.S. This is 680 News.
Hey, Dad, I'm just reading here that the flu can be pretty serious for seniors.
Good thing I got a flu shot. High dose, actually. It's 24% more effective than Fluzone standard dose. Senior dad stays on top of things.
Trendsetter. High dose is now covered in Ontario and free for adults 65 plus. Get the high dose clinics. Contact your doctor and make an appointment.
Vaccination does not provide 100% protection. Side effects and allergic reactions may occur. Talk to your doctor to see if this vaccine is right for you or visit fluzone.ca.
Mom, you should really get a a flu shot. It's pretty hard. I already got a flu shot. High dose, actually. My doctor recommends high dose because it's 24% more effective than Fluzone's standard dose. Your senior mom is smarter than you think.
High dose is now covered in Ontario and free for adults 65 plus. Get the high dose vaccine only in doctors' clinics. Contact your doctor and make an appointment.
Vaccination does not provide 100% allergic reactions may occur. Talk to your doctor to see if this vaccine is right for you or visit fluzone.ca.
Paul Cook and Catherine Chate.
Weekday mornings starting at 5:30.
This is 680 News.
Checking some regional conditions in Oakville, -1, partly cloudy. Milton, -4 and partly cloudy. Up in Orangeville, -6 and overcast. It's also -6, feeling like -7 in Erin. Cloudy. Brampton, overcast and -2. Downtown Toronto, +1 and overcast, -2 at Pearson Airport. Michael Gibbons is the evening editor. 680 News Time, 11 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Scott Burnett and Caitlin Lee.
Good evening. This is Monday, December 16th.
Here's what's making news this hour. The teachers' talks fall apart. Both sides blaming the other, saying neither one is willing
Veterans
to
getting
give.
$400,000. I don't know what they're talking about.
Victims of last year's Danforth shooting that left 2 dead and more than a dozen injured have filed a $150 million lawsuit against the manufacturer used in the attack.
An 11-year-old child has been seriously injured after being hit by a fire truck in Midtown Toronto. The emergency vehicle was on its way to a call.
A noble spirit in Big Inn. Just one of the many lessons taught after 30 years at The Simpsons.
The Raptors cruise to a win over the Cavaliers as the Coyotes make a deal with the Devils for Taylor Hall. Sports at 15.
Big money for an old piece of wood. The bat used by Babe Ruth to hit his 500th home run is sold for big money. Boeing is stopping production temporarily of its 737 MAX, and Wall Street hits fresh records again.
News time, 11:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones at the Traffic Center. Quick here.
This report brought to you by TSC. So we're seeing some delays on the eastbound 401 now. It's all because of construction. So your first slowdown is at the 412. The right lane is blocked here, so it's a little slow as you go through here. They're also working on the southbound 412 ramp onto the eastbound 401. The right lane on the ramp is blocked. You can still use it, though. Eastbound 401 ramp to Brock Street, that has been closed. And then we have a rollover, a crash east of Toronto Road out in the Port Hope area, just leaving it with the single left lane getting by here. It's going to take a while to clean this one up still. They're investigating. On the westbound 401, west of Fixin, 2 left lanes of construction. It's a slow drive, and then it's still slow as you make your way west 401 from west of Nielsen in the collectors all the way over to about west of Kennedy, on and off, with some alternating lanes restricted here because of construction. So it's a slow go on the westbound 401. Definitely in the collectors, you want to be in the express. At the DVP on the westbound 401, that collector ramp onto the DVP, that's also been closed off, so another good reason to stay in the express if you can. Southbound Leslie ramp to the highway is closed, and both the north and south Keel ramps onto the westbound 401 shut down. A lot of construction happening on the northbound 400. As you approach the King en route, just a single left lane getting by here. It's blocked or jammed slow from north of Teston on and off until you can get by the construction. Heads up as well if you're hoping to use the King en route. They blocked the ramp off the northbound 400 to it for some construction here, and also the ramp to King Road has been closed. So just make note, eastbound 27 is closed, and the westbound Finch ramp to the south 427 also shut down for maintenance. Give the gift of joy and win the holidays with TSC's unbelievable offers on the best of tech, fashion, home, kitchen, and more. Shop tsc.ca, today's shopping choice. Your next report is at 11:11, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsay.
Looking at a little bit of light snow for the morning commute, especially between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m. Trace to a centimeter or 2 possible, and best chance will be across the South GTA. Even higher amounts from Hamilton over to Niagara tomorrow morning. We'll wake up to -4. Afternoon temperature with drier conditions getting up to 1 degree. Tonight we're dropping to a low of -.
Right now, downtown 1 and overcast. It's -2 at Pearson Airport. 680 News Time, 11:03.
Well, despite attempts by a mediator to find some wiggle room at the bargaining table, talks between the Ford government and the province's educators remain at a standstill.
680 Charlene Close has the latest from both sides. On the advice of the mediator, Tuesday's talks are canceled. OSSTF President Harvey Bischoff tells me the government isn't budging.
No, they're still committed to eroding the quality of education in this province, and they have not backed off that commitment.
Education Minister Stephen Lecce says he's frustrated, claiming the union hasn't changed its position at all and didn't come to the table with any new proposals. So it looks like Wednesday's one-day strike will go ahead at 10 boards, including the public and Catholic boards in York and the public board in Halton. Now, since the Christmas break starts next week, there won't be any job action to deal with over the holidays. But what happens in the new year?
Have to see how things proceed between now and then. At the moment, we don't have any further dates.
I'm Charlene Close.
Four more unions about to announce a legal challenge to a government bill they say impedes free collective bargaining. Bill 124 already being challenged by Ontario's 4 teachers' unions. Another 4 unions, including the Ontario Federation of Labour, will announce their own challenge tomorrow. Bill 124 was passed by the government back in November. It caps public sector raises at 1% per year. The unions will announce their joint challenge at 9:45.
1% of like $100,000.
Victims of the 2018 Danforth shooting have filed a class action lawsuit against U.S. gunmaker Smith & Wesson. The suit claims the company was negligent for failing to include smart gun technology in the handgun used in the attack. A statement of claim filed in Ontario Superior Court on behalf of several victims alleges Smith & Wesson was aware the pistol was, quote, ultra hazardous. The shooting left 13 injured. The shooter killed himself.
Toronto Police could be getting hundreds of new officers next year, now that a massive $1 billion plus operating budget has cleared its first hurdle. 680's Mark Douglas reports from today's Police Services board meeting.
The vote is yes for a $1,076 million operating budget for Toronto Police next year, $40 million more than this year's budget. Chief Mark Saunders explains what the city is buying.
A total of 341 net new officers in order to support moving to a more proactive policing and enforcement model.
Mayor John Tory says he believes the taxpayers will understand the need for more money.
Whether it's with gun violence, I think most importantly and most acutely, or with traffic and pedestrian safety, or with the issues of trust in the community, that this is the time to make this.
New officers coming, 140 will work in priority response units, 8 will work on the new Vision Zero enforcement teams. At City Hall, I'm Mark Douglas.
Toronto Police investigating a crash involving a fire truck that sent an 11-year-old child to hospital with serious injuries. 680's Phil Martino tells us it happened in Midtown this afternoon.
Toronto Police Constable David Hopkinson says the fire truck hit a child near Oakwood and Rosemount, south of St. Clair, just before 3:30 p.m.
The child suffering either a broken femur or broken hip.
Toronto paramedics say the victim is a girl and that her condition has been stabilized. Toronto Fire Chief Matthew Pegg confirms crews were responding to a fire on St. Clair Avenue West.
And during the course to the emergency with lights and sirens sounding, unfortunately came in contact with a young girl.
Pegg says an investigation is underway by police and Toronto Fire is fully cooperating. I'm Phil Martino.
Toronto taking the first step to photo radar in dozens of locations across the city. There will be 50 automated speed enforcement signs across Toronto, 2 in each ward. The first unveiled in Etobicoke today. Provincial rules require the city to post the signs 90 days before a ticket can be issued. Mayor John Tory says the tickets aren't just about money.
The purpose of it is just to get people to slow down. You know, if they just got a warning in the mail and they promised forever and never we're speeding again, I'd be happy with that. But doesn't seem to work with human behavior.
Last year, 40 pedestrians were killed on city streets.
Earlier today, the Fort government came under fire after it announced the cancellation of the proposed Hamilton Light Rail Transit project because it skyrocketed in cost. 680's Richard Southern has more.
The Hamilton LRT was years in the making. The Fort government today, though, says it's pulling the plug on $1 billion of funding that was promised for the project. And it's not going over well in Hamilton, nor is it going over well with NDP leader Andrea Horwath, who's from the Hamilton area.
This is another callous cut by the Fort
government. They've made up numbers again to
I've
try to
never heard
justify
anybody
this
from
cut.
Hamilton tell me
But
that.
it is an absolute betrayal.
You know who
of the
else is
people of
from here?
Hamilton.
No, I don't
Before
want to
government
tell you
says
that.
its estimates show the cost of the project is higher than expected. That's why it's pulling the funding. Richard Southern, 680 News.
Well, tomorrow will mark another milestone for a comedy institution.
Special thing. Oh, what have I forgotten? No. Now don't panic. Is it Bacon Day? No, that's crazy talk.
When is Bacon Day? Well, tomorrow it'll be 30 years since The Simpsons aired its first episode, December 17th, 1989. Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, the title of that episode. Since its debut, 672 of the episodes have been broadcast. It's the longest-running American sitcom and the longest-running American scripted primetime television series, both in terms of seasons and number of episodes. In 60 seconds, we'll check the price at the pumps.
Just to answer your question, Scott, every day can be Bacon Day if you want it to be.
Should be. Every day should be bacon.
680 News Time, 11:09.
Here's to Toronto, to the magic of King Street, to the tastes of the Danforth, to the glow of the waterfront, to the markets, the
Ceases. Let's read
and
about
to the places we
I want
call
to know
home,
about Ceases. Ceases wants to know about me. I want to know about Ceases.
to the 905ers and the forgotten 647s. Here's to the many that never accept second best. Memphis.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Empro predicting that the price of gas will not change at midnight tonight, holding at 116.9 cents a liter at most GTAs in 60 seconds.
680 News Time, 11:10.
Some things just don't fit. Like a car that doesn't suit your lifestyle. That's why Toyota offers the fun-to-drive Corolla with available winter features like heated seats and heated side mirrors. Find the Toyota that's right for you. Lease the 2020 Corolla L for as low as $58 weekly at 2.99%.
Ceases. CSIS. Ceases. Took an interest in Danforth shooting. New docs confirm. I'm not sure how important that is, because aren't they supposed to? I'm just interested in Ceases. It says November 28th, but I never heard about this till just now. Canada's National Intelligence Agency took an interest in the Danforth shooting for at least 6 months after the tragic event unfolded. New quote-unquote top secret documents obtained by the Toronto Sun confirmed for the first time. The heavily redacted documents show that Ceases produced their first SIT-REP, a situation report, at 7 a.m. the morning after. I'm not calling it that. I'm just going to say situation report. At 7 a.m. the morning after the July 22nd, 2018 shooting that left 3 dead, including the gunman Faisal Hussein, and 13 others injured. 2 subsequent situation reports were then called for 2 hours later, and a third at 3 p.m. that afternoon, along with what's described in documents as a, quote, table tour, end quote, meeting that took place that day. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Table tour. The fuck? Go to a strip club or some shit for that? The following day, an internal email shows Ceases decided to, quote, cease producing daily situation reports and will revert to normal reporting protocols as new information is learned/obtained regarding this event, end quote. Discussion about the event continued throughout that month and into August, with the final correspondence on the matter occurring in December. The details of the correspondence, as well as what was in the reports and discussed in the meetings, is not known due to significant redactions. I don't know if this is an actual picture of the document. It says classification top secret, Canadian eyes only. That's an interesting thing to put on a document. It's stamped processed under the provisions of the Privacy Act and or Access to Information Act. Canadian eyes only. I never heard about that before. The material received by the Sun was only what was deemed, quote, releasable material, and 7 different exemptions allowed under Freedom of Information laws were cited for not releasing portions of the files, including that some content, quote, relates to the efforts of Canada towards detecting, preventing, or suppressing subversive or hostile activities, end quote. That's a very broad set of words there. There is no indication in the documents either way as to whether Ceases had information about the Danforth shooting that has not already been publicly disclosed, What little information the documents do offer, though, shows that CSIS was involved in running checks, presumably on Faisal Hussein, and that they sought, quote, any atmospherics on the shooting. It is unknown what they found. The related links are very interesting because they have nothing to do with the story, but they point to certain ethnic groups and certain racist things. So that's very interesting. I'm not going to read the headlines of them. That's why I stopped reading it. It is unknown what they found. However, the simple fact that CSIS was involved in the response effort has never been confirmed until now. The day after the shooting, then Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale's office stated, quote, there is no national security nexus to the investigation, end quote, and would not answer questions at the time about whether CSIS was participating in the investigation. CSIS investigates everybody. Another unexplained element of the files is why the correspondence and documents received the classification they did. Some files are marked top secret and top secret Canadian eyes only. Top secret, according to the formal government definition, applies to information or assets that, if compromised, could cause exceptionally grave injury to the national interest. The remaining files are marked secret, which is defined as information that could cause serious injury to the national interest. Exceptionally grave and serious. Okay, serious. You're in serious condition, aren't you? Like about to die. Exceptionally grave. Grave's where you go when you die. No, it's the bulk of the meetings and reports appear to have occurred in the days immediately following the shooting that left Torontonians reeling and looking for answers. Answers to what? They always go, why? I don't give a fuck about why. I want to know how. Tell me where, what, and how, and I'm pretty good. And who. Unless he's dead, I don't care. Who? The dead guy. Good. But almost 2 weeks later, on August 3rd, CSIS correspondence reveals discussion of an upcoming meeting involving the issue and their expectations of receiving a related package the following week. A package of what? Earlier this year, a package? What the fuck? That could mean anything with these people. Earlier this year, in June, the Toronto Police Service released its long-awaited report on the shooting. While the report offered new details about the contents of Faisal Hussein's apartment, including the 9/11 conspiracy theory videos in his possession, it ultimately found no evidence that the gunman received any assistance or guidance and offered zero insights into his motive. Got for me? Why are you even telling me CSIS investigated if they don't tell you they investigated anything and found anything? Like, what the fuck? All I remember them saying is he was in and out of the psych ward.
Is hopeful of playing tomorrow against the Sabres. He is battling an ankle injury. Toronto did recall defensemen Timothy Liljegren and Martin Marincin on an emergency basis, just in case. And the New Orleans Saints winners tonight in the NFL's Monday Nighter, beating the Colts 34-7. Drew Brees setting the NFL's all-time TD passing record, surpassing Peyton Manning's record. He threw 4 touchdowns, did Brees tonight in the victory. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour or anytime on the home of Timmins Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time,
11:17. I swear it's going to say something about
your doctor's opinion and denies your long-term disability claim.
Corners practicing on former patients. I swear they only said it once.
For any reason, 416-661-4878.
No, that was at the beginning. Hold on, there was something else.
Because there are none. At my law firm, my team of lawyers only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878 or on your cell phone at pound LTD.
Something's always coming up. Home improvements, kids' education, car repairs, credit card bills. Maybe you even saw a real deal on an investment property. Well, don't wait for the money to fall from the sky. Call Northwood Mortgage and start taking care of business. Use your home to save money. Pay off your mortgage faster. See why Canadians have turned to Northwood Mortgage for over a quarter of a century. Visit NorthwoodMortgage.com.
We're working harder for you.
10349.
680 News Time, 11:18. Get ready to pay more to ride the TTC again. The 9th fare increase since 2009 set to come into effect next year. 680's Karen Sealim has the details.
The TTC board has officially passed its 2020 budget, and it includes a 10-cent fare hike on all rides except the adult cash fare. The increases come into effect March 1st and are expected to raise about $31 million. TTC CEO Rick Leary says the budget also includes hiring more enforcement officers to crack down on the people who are purposely not paying.
This year, as we build a little bit on the benefits of the last few years' service, we asked for a little more from both our customers, those that are cheating us with the fare evasion, as well as some help from the city, and it will help us continue the good service.
Fare evasion cost the TTC more than $60 million last year alone. The proposed budget goes to council in February for approval. I'm Karen Seolin.
The sex scandal surrounding Prince Andrew is prompting calls for change at a Halifax area school named after him. Prince Andrew High School confirms it's heard from people who believe the name no longer reflects the values of the community. Several other Canadian organizations have already severed ties with the Duke of York. Toronto's Sick Kids Foundation says Prince Andrew's role as patron has been terminated.
Wow.
Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic in your extended forecast.
That's a big deal for those people.
There's still time for hot savings on last-minute Christmas gifts from Best Buy. You'll save $50 on a Samsung A8 tablet. Get it for only $149.99. That's a Boxing Day price. Get great last-minute tech gifts at Best Buy.
Hey guys, have you been on medication or just feel lousy because of your weight? Sleep apnea, sciatica, I had it all. Until I met the team at Harvey Brooker Weight Loss for Men. I'm Pat Carano, a 51-year-old accounting professional from Woodbridge. And I'm telling you, losing my weight has changed my life.
Don't miss 20% off 2020 memberships. New members only. Call now, 416-222-9887. HarveyBrooker.com.
If you could do it alone, you would have done it already.
There's still time for hot savings on last-minute Christmas gifts from Best Buy. You'll save $70 on select JBL Truly Wireless headphones for only $99.99. Get great last-minute tech gifts at Best Buy.
680 News Time, 11:20 together on the ones. Craig here.
A lot of delays out there. This report brought to you by Nikon Canada. It's all because of construction. So on the eastbound 401 through Brock Street, you go down to a single left lane again through this, jammed up from approaching the 412, the ramp off the eastbound 401 to Brock Street. That's also closed. Westbound 401, they've set up again west of Dixon all the way over to Brock Street. Again, just a single right lane getting by this zone, and it's a slow one. And then McAllen to west of Kennedy in the collectors. The left lane is blocked. That's enough to make it a slow drive. You want to be in the express through this stretch. West of Burnley on the westbound 401, the transfer into the collectors is closed here, and also the collector ramp onto the DVP has been shut down. Northbound Leslie ramp to the westbound 401 shut down for maintenance, and both the Keel ramps onto the highway are closed as well. Northbound 400 north of Teston up to King, just a single left lane getting by. The ramp to the King en route is closed, and the ramp to King has been shut down from the northbound 400. Southbound 404 DVP combo. Well, if you're trying to get onto the DVP, you won't be able to, because as you approach Shepherd now, right down on the 401, they've shut down the express lane, so they're going to force you onto the 401. And right now, MTO hasn't given us any of those 401 ramps, so you can still go east or west for the time being. Westbound QEW, we have a closed West Mall Evans Avenue ramp onto this highway. Northbound 427, we're seeing a jam up through the construction at Finch. It's two right lanes that are blocked, and the eastbound Finch ramp onto the northbound 427 is closed as well. Need gift ideas for the holidays? How about a Nikon DSLR camera or lenses? Right now, save up to $800 during the Capture the Savings event at your local Nikon authorized dealer. Your next report is at 11:31, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
-4 degrees overnight tonight. Watch for some light snow early tomorrow morning. It's only about trace to a centimeter or two with those higher amounts hugging the lakeshore. So the further north you go, less chance of that precipitation, but also about 2 to 4 centimeters for Hamilton over to Niagara. This is all through the morning commute. The afternoon will be drier, a high of 1 degree. Wednesday morning's commute, though, bringing in some snow as this cold front comes through. This is the infamous cold front you've been hearing about, bringing in the coldest air of the season so far. We'll also have lake effect snow to deal with. with through Wednesday afternoon with gusty northwest winds. Temperatures falling from -4 down to -10, wind chill -20 by Wednesday afternoon. And Thursday morning's wind chill still -22. It'll be mainly cloudy with a chance for some late day flurries and much below seasonal with a high of -7. Tonight we're down to a low of -4 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, +1 and overcast. It's -2 at Pearson Airport.
Coming up at 11:30, another one-day walk-off expected this Wednesday as teachers and the Ford government still can't come to any sort of agreements at the bargaining table. Meantime, we've got information about a young girl who was struck by a fire truck earlier today in the Oakwood and St. Clair area. Our Phil Martino has the details straight ahead.
680 News Time, 11:24.
The holidays were made for smiles and mouth-watering delicious feasts and treats. And there's nothing the staff of Pumpernickel's knows better. To all the Pumpernickel's customers that have warmed their hearts with your wonderful company.
Say hello to Cecil's for me. Ford calls for real solutions on violence, not Trudeau's dreams. Sometimes politicians can surprise you in ways you never expect. Well, I don't know why they're bigging up that point, because it's not really that surprising. Doug, fucking hell. They have to fucking do all sorts of dramatic shit. They can't just tell it. Ford did that on Monday during a sit-down interview with the Toronto Sun. Let me guess, you were stunned by this. While speaking with myself and Sun colleague Antonella Artuso, Ford was mostly staying on well-rehearsed talking points when it came to the rotating teacher strikes, the economy, and relations with the Trudeau government in Ottawa. Then, nickname, that's what we all call Antonella, I'm not saying that word, asked Premier Ford a question about his beloved Toronto and what was happening to the city. And I don't know why they put that in there, because they don't mention it again through the whole article. While calling Toronto the best city in the world and singing the praises of his hometown, Ford turned to the issue of gang violence that far too often sees bullets fly. Quote, we can't have these gangbangers out on the streets, shooting up the streets, and then laughing at us getting out on bail a day or two later, and then see the repeat offenders do it again, Ford said. The Premier called for judicial and bail reform as ways to deal with what he calls the revolving door for criminals who use guns. Coming from Doug Ford, none of that is shocking. It's what he said next that was the surprise. Now, if you follow this shit about the carbon tax, you're not going to be surprised. The Trudeau Liberals have said they plan to ban certain types of rifles not used in crimes in Canada, and spent $600 million buying them back from licensed legal gun owners. Now, if you own that property, you don't have to sell it, so you deserve more than what you paid for it if you're being forced to sell it. So it's not going to be $600 million. It'll be $2 billion, just like the fucking long gun registry was. That is twice, remember I said $600 million, that is twice the $300 million Trudeau promised to spend on fighting guns and gangs and stopping gun smuggling at the border over the next 5 years. So if you take away a whole shitload of guns, the inverse, the side effect of that is going to be more people willing to buy guns that are smuggled, if that's where they're coming from. Because the gun that Faisal Hussein used was stolen from a Saskatchewan gun shop. It wasn't smuggled. It was stolen from a gun shop in Canada. So what's smuggling got to do? It's supposedly a 15+1 40 caliber, which I'm not totally familiar with 40 calibers. And so it kind of surprises me. It was on sale. It was for sale here in Canada. We would buy it, but apparently it was stolen from there and not smuggled. And remember, specifically, over the next 5 years, stopping gun smuggling at the border over the next 5 years, blah, blah, blah. So, or it's how much they're going to spend and blah, blah, blah. But they want to do this over the next 5 years. At the same time as they want to buy back it. But it's two different sets of people. It's not the legal owners that are going to be buying smuggled guns. $600 million can go into so many different areas, court system and bail conditions to deal with this. I've heard the same thing from Toronto Mayor John Tory. He said for multiple years that we did not need a handgun ban because it wouldn't work. Then he said we do need one. And Mark Saunders just says he needs more money for more cops on the street. And he needs more informants. You could check with municipal and police leaders across the country, and they will tell you the same. Criminal benefit need to be locked up for longer periods of time. It's which again will just create a vacuum. If you're saying it's gangs which are selling drugs that are getting these, by using these guns and buying them and shit, you're just going to have more of those people popping up. It's the next part that becomes surprising for Ford. People, communities, education, childcare, affordable housing, affordable ownership. I did just read that quote. So, Ford goes a step further than most politicians that push this line of thinking, though normally without the call for tougher bail or sentences, and includes affordable home ownership. That's troubled communities will tell you that a lack of hope is often what leads people down the dark path. Which end is that? Because to me, it's the end getting shot at. But I don't understand. A lack of hope is going to get me shot. I'm a little confused by that. That's victim blaming. Generation changing step for families. Generation changing step for families is the hope of many. Ford has ideas on how to make this a very real problem. From the same guy that just increased everybody's rent, where's the difference supposed to come from? Get almost $400,000 in federal funds. Yeah, there's homeless vets here. Homeless veterans in Toronto are getting help from nearly $400,000 in federal funding over the next 3 years. Minister of Veterans Affairs and Associate Minister of National Defense Lawrence McCauley, accompanied by Spadina-Fort York MP Adam Vaughan, announced the money will go to the Good Shepherd Ministries Veterans Housing Navigation Team in downtown Toronto. Well, you couldn't have given it to anybody better. Except maybe to the vets themselves. I don't know. Quote, this project will not only help veterans find housing, but also work with them to enhance their skills and manage health goals. Enhance their skills, motherfucker, said McCauley inside Good Shepherd on Monday morning. Quote, veterans are a very valuable and important part of society needed in so many sectors of our society, like employment sectors, well-trained to take on many opportunities because you're trying to put them to work. What the fuck? Added Vaughn, veterans to me are one of the most important workforces. These people don't need jobs, they need somewhere to live. Brother David Lynch, the executive, $1,500 fucking dollars for a bachelor to live in fucking Parkdale. $1,500 to live in Parkdale in a bachelor. I don't pay $1,500 for this. I know it don't look big, but I don't pay $1,500. I don't know if I would. I might go sleep in a bank machine for the rest of my life if I had to. What's going on with my fucking internet, man? I ain't even gonna read it if it's doing this, man. Over 250 veterans, and then it says in brackets, since the Leave the Street Behind program was started, end bracket, in 2010, bracket, with Veteran Affairs and the Canadian Legion, end bracket, said Lynch. The Canadian Legion, where Indian status veterans aren't allowed to go in, right? Or today they can, but not for the longest time. I wouldn't go in, fuck them. Quote, the aim bracket, see, there's things they're not saying that they're fucking adding in to make sure you understand. The aim, bracket, with the new $400,000, end bracket, is to house 70 veterans over the next 3 years. We'll do the math on that in a second. Vaughn said its estimated veterans make up between 5 to 8% of Toronto's total homeless population, itself estimated to range between 7,500 to 8,500 people. No, that's like at a time. You're not catching the drift. Quote, homelessness in the city of Toronto is a major problem, said Lynch. Yeah, problem. Like the Indian problem. The 1969 Trudeau White Paper, introduced by John Chrétien, right? There goes my internet again. Was homeless for 2 years after serving in the military between the ages of 16 to 24, and both of his parents have PTSD. His parents have PTSD. What the fuck? Quote, veterans would see me as if we were still in uniform, which is just as a brother to them, which goes a long way, said Elliott. What? McCauley added, when you're used to serving rather than being served, it's not easy. The nearly $400,000, these are very self-serving statements. Divide all that money. It's $158.73 a month per head. It's $5 a day. that doesn't even buy you a coffee and a sandwich. How the fuck are you gonna get 150? Alright, that's all I'm fucking reading it. Let's disconnect this shit. Is this glitter in the fucking right light?